Been around the world, don't speak the language, but your booty don't need explaining. All I really need to understand.
Once the round goes live, it's an amazing looking arena. It's going to be really cool. I love the booths, love the fact that you see the players in their map. And we're out here in the thick of it as well.
So keep in mind, Immortals picked Cobblestone. They're going to start CT side, big are going to be T. That's how we'll get underway. And we are.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen. Immortals versus Big. Make some noise for the first map, Cobblestone. We'll get into it. The buys come through. Big with 3 sets of armor, and of course there's going to be a tactical element to this. 2 smokes, 2 HE grenades, and the flashbangs as well. And they're going to be in the hands of Lagia and God B. 1 kit available for Immortals. They've got the smoke as well on the back of Steel. I assume it'll be played towards the B side eventually. They go towards the middle of the staff, trying to get a long A control, and the nades have been used. Look at KNG as he takes him to the face. Lucky to be alive. He goes down to 22 HP.
Smart spot, this nade on pistols. We know CTs like to get aggressive for information at A long. After putting the nades there, even though they don't confirm that the damage has been done, they know that likely they have pushed anyone that was there back, so they'll take it over. And already we're looking at execution potential from Big. Bolts aggressive at B. Tapson's one is exchange, one is duel. That gives him the option to work. He's got room to work with on the B side of the map. And if he pushes out drop, he can cut off rotations. They do still have 2 in the A side, 1 outside of the window and connector. Steel's the one that we'll watch for Tapson, but there you go. Smoke's not down yet. 2 of them still to come out and play. Lucas caught in the open. Needs KNG to get more aggressive, and he will. Good shot. Lucas still alive. Is able to take down 2. The entrance won't do just yet. Smoke was deployed in front of the stables. Tapson has to win it. Another finds Henny. So still a chance in the round because he can deploy damage from everywhere, walking back in until Steel gets the kill instead. I'll be immediately into a 1 versus 3. We'll have a timeout the next round, but this one's not done just yet. Gobby does pick up the bomb. 41 seconds, but they've triangulated his position. And no peek for KNG to give an easy kill. Does not try, does bait one out with the jump. Goes back to the burst fire. He's looking for a little bit of luck. Flash is going to go high left. He'll peek immediately as it detonates. Gives them an opening, but double peek play Immortals gives them the pistol.
Immortals do indeed pick up the pistol there. Nice approach from Big. You can see they have a bit of information as the CT set up there. Double HE's at long A, which actually connected. Took KNG down to 22. He fell back. That's what they're trying to do. Establish that map control at the very beginning of the round. Get him back towards the bomb side there. He can't really hold that position on such low HP as well. They went for the ace play. It was Tapson. He did such a good job towards drop down. Got the first kill in their favor as well. He wants to do the split. And the smokes, it looked a little bit clumsy, the execution there. They did deploy them towards the bomb side, but there were gaps. It seemed that they were committing before the smokes had bloomed. The flashbangs weren't really effective. And Immortals just mowing them down with the USPs there. Got B left in the 3 versus 1. Did a reasonably good job to get that first kill. I thought he seriously had a chance there as well with the flashbang remaining, but couldn't find the follow-up frags. No bomb planted, and it's that wireless mouse. The little critter not working out for us just yet.
Millisecond delay, perhaps. Tabson does not look pleased, and they are going to swap the PC. So full swap to bring in a new tower. Some sort of hardware delay, perhaps, in the motherboard.
So that was Tabson who's got the delay, right? So he was a player, got 2 frags. So it didn't seem like it limited him somewhat. He seemed okay.
Admins are asking them to please put the headsets back on, no talking.
That's true, we should be careful with what we mention. I guess we can't give too much away. But still, Immortals 1-0 here. And they've got another 10 minutes. It's good to get another way early, I say, Matt. Fix all the problems now, then we'll have an epic best of 3 coming up. 1 round in. Immortals shouldn't be able to talk at this point if you're not familiar with the Valve rule set. Technical problems, everyone has to be quiet. There's some lounge in there as well.
Yep. Shout out to JDM.
But should I describe the buy match? I'll leave it. Shall I leave it for now?
Leave it for a minute, just to be absolutely sure.
Yeah.
I do love the booths, by the way. They look fantastic. For a
amazing.
360 stage, full vision everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, I love that.
Looks really good.
Yeah, the glass panels are a really nice addition. I mean, we've had this set up in other games before, but we haven't. I don't think we've done it in CS:GO. Maybe in Vegas was a similar one.
Similar, but no booths.
Yeah, that's right. But this is super cool.
And no crowd.
All right, calm down. But he's just having a nap. Towel on the face. Check out. Compose himself, perhaps. Bit of meditation. Do you meditate, Matt?
Every now and then.
Every now and then. Okay. Everyone's having a bit of a go. So the admin's trying to work out. I don't think there's any technical issues for the lads in Immortals, so that'll be okay. There he is, of course, the Godfather, as he's been known recently.
So much goes on behind those eyes. It's a mind that does not stop when it comes to Counter-Strike.
It's true. So Legia's off the server as well. So maybe they've both got the same issue. Maybe that's the problem right now. And they're out of booth, so we've got to be very careful, Matt, with what we say at this point. I know you're a professional, just in case, you know.
Definitely not a professional. I fake it.
Fake it till you make it. Well, you're doing all right so far.
Thanks, Henry. So tower swap will mean that they'll likely just pull the SSD from one computer to the other, put it in, and then hopefully the hardware issue is gone. They've got all hands on. It's definitely the same mouse that they're using. I'm not sure exactly which model it is. I'm sure someone already has spotted that on Twitch. We're back.
Hello there.
But rather than us talk,
Let's do that.
yes, hello. I appreciate that. Rather than us talk, we will take a second to speak with the man I did say has the mind that never does stop talking or thinking, for that matter. It's Scott B. Well, confidence is certainly one thing when they play against VP. Interesting thought from Gabi. Is he predicting both of these quarterfinals?
I guess so. He's going for the big names here. He wants to take down the hometown favourites, apparently. And like he said, that means he has to beat Immortals first. He thinks it's already a done deal. Maybe he knows someone we don't.
Well, they lost the opening pistol, but we will find out the rest of the match
Here
now.
We are back. The mice are working. Everyone's on the server. We're going to round number 2. Then will indeed be a force fight for big here. Tech 9s, P250s. They've got some armor to work with as well. The gear opting for more utility than protection. 3 smokes available, flashbangs as well. And we'll get straight into it. It's going to be towards A for now. All 5 players at the top and middle. KNG and Lucas playing very passively on the A-bomb side after taking a nade to the face. KNG maybe just falling back and playing with his teammates more instead of being by himself and vulnerable.
Yeah, he's not going to do that twice. Tapson will clear corner systematically with Gabi and Kiev. Tapson not playing the lurk this time. To start off the round, it's Legia. Over toward the B tunnels, but even then they back off. They want to go as a unit. They want to make the pistols work together.
They've got long A control now, Matt, and they could go for an execution if they wanted. They have the smokes there. 3 of those available. We can smoke towards the connector by the APC in front of the bomb site as well. I've required just to give you a safe route, but they want to explore. Now they've left the bomb over towards long A. It's going to be Kiev and Gabi waiting in that position. They could go for the A split here. Next and Tapson presumably aiming towards drop down, trying to open things up. Tapson, he might only have a P250, but he is absolutely wild with his weapon. He gets so many flags with the P250, so don't let that thing is going to limit him. As we get into the 42nd mark, Tapson now joined by Legia and Nex. They're going to try and possibly flashbang into this one and then go through the connector and try and meet up with Gabi and Kiev at the A-bomb site.
Single smoke out at the door A side of connector. They'll go down immediately to the right. Anyone behind the smoke? It's in the line of fire, but they give it up. Drop actually is open quite easily. They're well on the side of the site. Watch below the ledge because Tapson gets found from KNG. Seal, I should say, was the one down there who did the early damage. Good shot. He reload comes in. No time. KNG's down as well. So they take the site, but they have to pick up the bomb in time. But Legia holds off bolts. Simple and straightforward. Forget all execution. Bomb goes down with 4 seconds left, and there's only 1 gun left in it. It's Lucas. Oh, a little bit quick to judge. I actually thought he heard something behind him. It was above him where they were trying to boost. But 3 versus 1, everyone has picked up an SMG, 3 UMPs, and Kiev has armor to go along with his. Even though he's the one who's toward the site. Shots out, and Lucas gets faded back in. Kiev finds the kill, and we go 1-1.
Yeah, that's unbelievably sharp from Big. Looking very good there, I have to say. Getting that slow map control, as we described in the pre-game. Pushing the CTs back, taking that vision away. And then for some reason, the big blunder there is Immortals have left drop-down completely open and connector. No presence there whatsoever. They had no idea that split's coming in. Sure, KNG gets the first kill and taps, and you think that's it, but Kiev, he's got too close to the bomb site. Finds the kills at the P250, and Legia, he's stepping up as well. 2 P250 frags. That second one especially, beautiful work. And it will be tied up 1-1. Of course, the force fire in response presumably comes in. We have another pause here, Matt. Hopefully it's tactical. We'll find out momentarily. But they tie it up. Immortals almost certainly going to buy into this one with Deagle's P250s himself. Maybe a scout.
Well, this time I will say, if it is technical, it looks to be on the Immortals side. No one is behind the computers that were unplugged and replaced on the big side. Looking at the booths from my perspective. It's Lucas as well that may have the issue. I can never tell. I said I was going to study that the other day. I still haven't.
The nose ring, dude. That's what it's about.
I can definitely not see that from 50 meters away. I'm sorry.
Bring the binoculars next time. We can work it out.
It's a good point.
If you want to be committed to this job, Matthew, you've got to at least make that sort of commitment.
Sorry, Henry.
It's okay. Yeah, this feels like it's a technical one. So, nothing being purchased as of yet. USPs across the board for Immortals. In terms of Big, after winning that very successful second round force buy, that's quite common if you don't get the bomb down in the pistol, which you did not. They bring that out, and you have to Deagle from Kiev. He's a player that's been getting better and better, it seems, as well. Like, we've been watching him develop, not only as an AWP, he seems proficient with the pistols and the rifles as well. He's catching my attention. I wasn't that excited when I saw him first join his team. Obviously, he used to play for Attacks, and now he's looking like a really strong AWP generally. Like, he went toe-to-toe with Fallen the other day, Matt, and they won the game.
Absolutely true. He definitely had an incredible performance with Attacks, getting them into the E-League Season 2. but it's not been something I've noticed as much since he's been on the big lineup until this event. This is when he's finally gotten to the level that, okay, maybe he always had in him, but wasn't able to find, he wasn't consistent with it. We'll wait to get underway again.
The buys starting to come in for the CT side at least. That suggests they're getting ready. There is an Immortals issue. They're buying, and there is chatting going on, I have to say, but...
Oh, it's chatting to the admin from what I can see.
That's right, yeah, I can see it. There we go. So they're working things out.
And the headsets are back on, so we should be ready to roll. Buys coming in for the Immortals side, having just lost the second round after winning Pistol. There won't be as much to go with, but they are going to force into it naturally, try and break the terrorists again right away. We can start talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there it is. The scout just come out for Henny. Here we go. The buyers do start to come in. CZs, Deagles, and a UMP.
So I found out why we had a delay.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say. I felt bad for him. I felt bad.
I'm going to go there as well. Listen, it happens to the best of us. Not really. Lucas had a sound issue. The issue was because he doesn't know the difference between right and left in his earbuds and had to switch them.
Yeah, that is.
So apologies on Lucas's behalf, but someone sorted it out. They told him, put your hands up, and the one that makes the L, that's left.
Okay, well there you go. The default by does come in. And here it is. Scout for Henny. I think he's been dropped the scout by Lucas. He's got armor as well. Here's the team sniper. KMG can certainly help with that responsibility as well. Let's be big. We know they're a tactical team. They won't want to give anything away. Very disciplined, generally. You can see Tabson boosting out, checking every single angle here, trying to see whether he can find out that first pick. That's usually the first objective here. Make it a 5-on-4. Work out the stack, what kind of weaponry they've got. Use every gun radio possible. This is a quarterfinal of a major. You don't want to get taken down by CZ just because you didn't Molotov a specific position. Now, slowly but surely they'll make their way in. Flashbangs coming through as well. HE's towards the left-hand side. Once they establish drop-down control, they can go towards the platform and see whether they can get that further control of the map.
Wait for it. We know that they'll play a slower style.
Yeah.
Smokes are at the ready. Steel's already tagged and backed off of the E-box position.
That's clever from Tabson jumping like that, suggesting he's already gone down. He's trying to bait out one of the players on the CT side.
Well, we know you can do that toward the corner at long. It's a very similar sound. So Lagi is going to get challenged. Oh, just barely gets the gun back as Steel emerges from the smoke. Tabson already to the top. Good shot. Lucas is the one he finds. So even though they start over toward B early on, it's back to A. Good call from Gobby, and Tabson starts to roll. Yeah, number 2 in the round.
It's very good, isn't it? Like we said, get that 5-on-4, show that presence towards B. Didn't even commit towards drop down. Was making the noise, trying to pull the rotations over Lagia. Waits for a person to push through the smoke. Finds that kill, but Bolts is fighting back somewhat. Takes down next. Can't find the rifle or the SMG just yet. I'm going to be trying to hunt for further fracks. I don't think he can do anything about this. Tabson gets the next kill, and there it is. Almost a clean sweep. Next did drop, but Big now take the lead. They managed to negate the force fight there of Immortals. Now hopefully, Matt, the headphones are working correctly. We've got the wireless mice plugged in, set up, and now we can really sink our teeth into this. What should be epic quarterfinal, I think, especially if the likes of Tabson and Bolts start turning up.
Yes, all the issues fixed. So they have to sit back on the CT side this time, obviously, not winning on the force. They'll have to relax for one more to get guns out. It'll be a 3rd round loss bonus. So I imagine Big will play accordingly, knowing they'll be up against pistols. We'll have if they go by anything we've seen, a relatively slow start to the round, ascertain information, and then work as a unit toward a site. They've already got good damage on Lucas. In fact, he's left with just 8.
You can afford to be a little loose on these sort of rounds. You know you've already had a force fight the previous. There has to be a full leak over the CT. You can just group up as a 5-man unit and overwhelm them with firepower. So that's what Keith's trying to do one out of the Mac 10. It's fine if he goes down. What's he up to? Oh my
he's
goodness!
Got it! The big man's got moves. He showed some wiggle at the end of the last round with some strafe mechanics. Gets inside of danger, and it makes it count as well. Remember, not only is he on the SMG, the kill comes on the knife. So he gets a massive reward, and he is the AWP player, so that will have benefits down the line.
Yeah, $1,500 for those knife kills are certainly worth it. It's not just showboating, it's financially viable for him to try and go for that. And does the damage initially. I think it was just one slash with the knife as well to finish him off. Great stuff, very exciting. 5-on-2 is going to be Henny and Bolts trying to hold on to the USB. I get looking for exit frags and will be a goal at this stage, as they will hold up towards the B side, heading in towards that drop-down area. Tabson might find some trouble here, but he's looking like he's got some crisp aim going on, and as he managed to find bolts there as well. Henny waits to the connector. He might just survive this, considering they've all ran past him, and he'll have to search for a frag here if he can. Even if he gets it, it's very unlikely he saves the weapon. But Immortals will have money going to the next round.
Headshot from afar onto Tabson. Puts him on 13. He gets a gun down, but all 5 stay up, and they will collect as Nex gets another SMG kill on a MAC-10.
Yeah, every kill, especially at that stage of the game, is so huge and serious. $600. And there's the replay of the knife. Keith, what was he down to? 30 HP at that point as well?
It was 30 HP, but I was just trying to point out as well as money, he does go on the AWP, he had 9350 at the start of this round after that knife.
That's great. Orp and AK comes up next, and 3 UMPs as well to join them. So I guess you can call this a little bit of a bonus round, because they've got SMGs, and they're going to be upgrading to that Keith AWP you just referenced as well. No kits for Immortals. That's actually a huge deal here, especially against an execution-based team like Big. If they get that bomb down with a wall of smokes, they're going to be really struggle to retake the bomb sites. They've obviously got no AWP themselves as well. They are struggling after those 4 spies in the early sectors of this game. 5 and 4s, and now only 2 smokes as well. 2 flashbangs work with no incendiaries. They're getting bled out very early on in this round.
Smoke dropped, connects it long. Thompson inside of the drop. Clever tactics to disguise it this time. Just goes in cleanly. They take over E-Box as well. Smokes down the side. Whoa, smokes at that. Bolts and steel are on the inside of them, which means they can't see from Morocco that Thompson has made it through. Henny's in a good spot, though, with the M4. Tries to turn back and find Nex as well. Steel. It's gone as he emerges. Small gap as well. And it's Lucas to rotate in and find the last remaining player, Thompson, who was sitting in the open the whole time.
Well, they managed to hold off the execution there from Big. We did say a lot of those are going to be coming in at that point. The AWP didn't really do too much. They go for the execution, but Immortals look quite comfortable, I have to say. The lack of utility, just had to hold their breath and try and take the challenges. A few kills for the smokes as well, that's certainly welcomed. And as we get into round number 6, Immortals now manage to get the kits out and open themselves incendiaries. Now they can start to build their own bank balance. That was huge. If they managed to win that round Big, they set themselves up for a very successful half on Cobblestone. But Immortals keep their heads above water for now. All for Henny, of course, likes to be aggressive on that upper platform. We'll see if that comes out at all. He's going to be Molotoved off, has to head towards the steps.
Flashbang.
Check for Nex in the smoke. Not as aggressive from Immortals as I might have expected going into the first gun round. They have, ever since the pistol, when the 2 nades landed at one corner, stopped really trying to push in that position.
It's a difficult map generally to go for those first picks. You need to get warmed up and kind of establish your financial situation. Then you can start to give you more risk. We'll see Henny push up a platform at this point, but look at Godby and Co. going towards long, and Tabson, their strongest frag out, towards the end of long A.
Decent setup though. KNG can watch lower mid. If they find him first, if Nex is able to spot him and he has to drop backwards, though, he'll be exposed to the corner because Lucas is flashed off. It's still yet to have an angle. Lucas wins it. So far, KNG has not had to go, which means he's perfectly positioned to take down. Nex drops in, knows they're still at long, follows that as well. Keeve hits the deck, the bomb stays down. It's like, yep, not anymore, against 4. At least he was for a moment. 3-3.
Yeah, the money being whittled down now for the Big side. That's 2 really clean rounds from Malta, I have to say, only dropping 1 frag there. And it's going to be 3-3. We definitely tied things up, and they can start now maybe flirting with the idea, pushing a little bit more and trying to get the opening picks and allowing Henny to have some of his characteristic dynamic plays. We'll see whether that comes in. But the force wipe from Big here. We have seen a few executions so far, shut down in the previous, but that nice boost. It's a boost we don't see that much these days, but thrown in about once a half, it can be very beneficial. The Big one anticipates now. Tabson not really showing us an amazing aim just yet. He had an opportunity to find a killer at APC, but didn't work out for him. This could be a faster play towards B. The gear, he's looking keen to get in there. Drops the smoke, flashbang as well. Doesn't push any further.
Won't push any further, and thankfully so. That nade would have done even more damage if he was a step closer. So utility starts to be well deployed from Immortals. They're getting the advantage, it seems, early in the rounds now.
Yeah.
Or at least controlling what was originally a lot of aggression from Big. The 2 Tech 9s, they can afford to be quick, but as always, Tabson's the one that leads his way down into the drop room. Nade bounced. Steel's back off, very minor damage, and he's able to control the situation with a good kill. Brings Lucas back in through the window. Godby goes down.
They have pulled the rotations over towards B, and it's going to be the A side that they will be finishing up at. 1 minute remaining as well. Keith trying to get this kill at the better position. Doesn't happen for him. Goes down to 30 points of health. The bomb crosses towards the site. Legia with the backstab as well. That's the huge play here. If he can find a kill and connector and keep it pulled apart, maybe Big have a chance to win this one.
Lucas may spot him, however. His bomb's down. Steel sees the shoulder of Kiev. Taken out immediately. Oh, he didn't save it all. Legia. He knows that they've already rotated over off that kill. He's got the back exposed through the door. Thankfully, he just barely gets any, but that brings the attention of Lucas back, and low HP. It just takes a single bullet. Clean defuse, 4-3 for Immortals. They take back the lead after winning and then losing after the pistol.
Yeah, great round by Steel. 3 frags in total. Lucas chimes in with 2, so the 2-man unit manages to shut down Big once again. That was the force buy, but they're getting deep into the loss bonus now with the bomb down as well. Could still buy into this round. Looks like a more conservative approach from what I can see so far. Tech 9s, yes, indeed, and the UMP for Legia. Just trying to keep that money about the 2K mark. They'll have $2,900 going into the next one if they do indeed lose this. Even more, they get the bomb planted, which is very likely for a team like Big. But Immortals now have the lead map. It's 4-3, and the double AWP setup for Immortals coming out. We know this is powerful. Henny and KNG, both very, very good AWPers, and we'll see if they can step up here. One of them positioned towards top of middle, and got B. He's not messing around, is he? He's getting straight down long A. Knowing this could be a possibility, he's going to be committing all in.
Good shot, Tech 9. The damage was all there. KNG goes to 12, but he recovers. Versus Lucas finds a kill. Oh, HP. What if KNG gets found? Good control. Up close and a clean sweep. Immortals keep everyone alive and get their 5th round. Upgrade a few weapons. Pistols mostly. Yeah. Double AWP in play.
It's looking quite promising here for Immortals with 4 rounds in a row. And after losing to the second round force by Big, they've found their footing here on Cobblestone. Money starting to swell, and Henny with decent spawns as well. As you said, once they get comfortable, they can start taking more chances at that point. They can go towards the bottom and middle. They can try and shut down those first picks. With Keith with the AWP as well. Finally, we have some decent cash for Big. 4 AK-47s, full array of utility as well. The smokes and the Molotovs. Both teams fully equipped. We'll see who comes out on top here as Keith wants to challenge with that B side. Wants to smoke, and we're pushing through as well. It's missed thrown, so he needs to be very careful here.
Yeah, that's a very small detail that means a lot.
Yeah, now he can't get to the box and actually have a safe position.
Can of Flames deploy both sides. Bolts, good nade, that's healthy. Very healthy. Keith and Legia get nailed by it.
Yeah. I'll send them packing for now. Legia down to 35 HP, but once again focusing on the drop-down room. Thompson leading the way as ever, trying to find the first pick. They have been damaged up though.
He's quick to get out from drop this time, Tabson. Has Godby with him. They've done this multiple times together. Last time they were shut down by Steel at the front, and Lucas jumping through. Steel this time is the one that's at the window. Players that long A, by the way, are quite removed from this. All the way out to the corner, Lucas and KNG. They'll start to rotate now with a flank from Lucas, but they've got going quick. They haven't spotted Bolts, and they don't spot him until after he takes down next Legia. Good response, however, puts them inside of the site. Henny's yet to be revealed at KNC, but Molotov will force him out, not only out, but into the hands of Kiev. Bomb is down though, and good timing. Lucas gets hot on their heels immediately through B tunnels and Legia. He's got to fight. He can't go for the bomb. He's got to get a kill, at least one kill to get toward it. That one certainly helps.
Here we go then. Legia 1v1 situation against the AWP as well, but HP isn't a factor anymore. KNG can watch the cross of the site. 10 seconds remaining. We have a chance here, but he starts encroaching on his position. Bomb should be planted here.
He'll get it down. He'll get it all the way down, but the push coming through KNG stays close. Brings back out the AWP as well, even though Legia is only on 35, but he gets the angle. And the Brazilians get yet another round. They've silenced Big for now 5 in a row.
They absolutely have. Legia, very valiant attempt, I have to say, on the B-bomb side. Didn't expect to hit that shot on the upper platform whatsoever. Nails it. Brings it down to the 1v1. I gave him the advantage as well, considering he's up against that close range AWP. I thought he had that one tied up. Like we said, the HP wasn't a factor at that point, but KNG, very patient, holds the angle, takes him down. 5 rounds in a row for Immortals. That does mean Big can keep buying into this one. They get $3,400 per player, 800 extra with the bomb going down as well. So buy is available, and I can see There's enough for an AWP, but just about. It's 5k on the gear after getting those few frags. I don't think they bring out the AWP this time. They take a pause. This is tactical, of course, just to work out with the players. Why are we not closing out these rounds? We're finding the frags, getting the clutch situations almost in our favour. That was a 2v1 short, but the 1v1, I thought they might know how to finish that one off. So 5 rounds in a row. Immortals looking very sharp here. Haven't really given away much in terms of gun rounds. Double AWP setup still rolling strong. We'll have a look at the scoreboards while we're here as well. Big performance for Immortals. Steel, 11 kills, 4 deaths. Same story for Lucas as well. KNG not far behind. Henny, once again, I called it out, Matt. He's had an up and down tournament, I'd say 1 for 7. But the rounds they're winning, not such a huge deal. But he is struggling towards that B-bomb side.
KNG on the first stop goes low at mid to try and fire through the smoke. It means, though, that they've got 3 on A. And not a lot of presence at B, where in which Big is hoping to occupy.
Yeah, and this play is what Henny's known for. Getting aggressive at the start, trying to find the first picks. He's at long A. It's a really scary angle to try and face in the CT side, but he doesn't get too much trouble. He will be pushing out, though. Going to be investigating towards top and middle. No one there. This will be another B side of the attack from the big side. The bomb's down in the B halls. Henny's on the other side of the map as well. This could be troublesome for them. Only Bolt's really defending towards that B side. He's there with Steel, but he's in the connector. Surely this is the round where Big have the advantage. If they execute now, they've got a very good chance of taking this round.
Execute or go slow. And they're back inside a drop. Same 2. Usual suspects. Bolts toward the Hobbit hole. Thompson's going to heal. Here's Steel running back into the site. Flashed over, he'll go up the lane, but has to turn his back around. He has already found the kill. He gets Bolts. He's perfectly positioned to catch off the player that was waiting at the Hobbit hole, and Goppy follows up. As Lucas is hot on the flank, though, bomb not yet planted. If he times this, he could easily take down the planter. He's got to be careful with his aim, and he's followed it up. Resets it and goes back for next. Goppy and Legier are so low on HP as well.
Absolute blunder there from Big, not watching their angles at all. You've got 5 players alive. One's not watching the platform, and Eddie, he finds another kill as well. Takes 2! This is falling apart for Big. He's up to Goppy on 50 HP. The bomb has not been planted. Surely he can't do it. And it's Henny who steps up just when they need him. 3 kills in the round. And 6 in a row for Immortals. Big are starting to crumble. Another pause required, I would say. That's horrific. That should not be happening, man. Why is no one watching the platform?
And Next couldn't get the refrag, even though the spray was so lackluster from Lucas. And then Q in the brother, he steps up on the AWP, 3 very fast flicks. As soon as he gets that second kill, the bomb's not planted. They were already in trouble with the HP, as it were.
5
Beautiful op shots.
Yeah, 5-on-2 situation though. That's
watch this. This is why it's nice the boots face each other. He's taunting them. Not that they'll have noticed.
That's true. That's a very good point. Oh, I think we have a force by here. The Big down to the upgraded pistol, some armor as well. Need to start converting those rounds if they want to stand a chance here in the quarterfinals. 7-3 the overall scoreline. Single all this time for Immortals, but Bolts wants to challenge towards drop down, and challenge he will as he finds the first goal. Can't get the doubles. Legia takes him down with that UMP.
No off-shot success from Henny this time, though, as Legia is able to pick up the M4. And also, having picked it up, deterred the push coming through from Steel that was going to try and flank him out from window and get the refrag. But they're content to let them have the position because they don't have anything else to go along with this M4. It's just the one. Although, they can't give him that much room. They have to at least be mindful of his presence because Henny's caught completely off guard, not looking anywhere near the position as Steel's going to go back for it, and Legia's placed well. If Steel's equally as careless, could have walked into it, but this could be big. This could be a massive play as KNG wants to flank. They're not going to be looking. They hear him drop down. They line up, though, and he gets both. He, of course, breaks through. Legia's got it all to do, and Steel's ready for him. Immortals are alive, absolutely alive with 7 in a row.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there. Great mid-round calls. Equal situation, 3-on-3. KNG asks for the call to get up towards drop down there. 8 times to perfection as well. They both got nothing. They know he's coming as well. They can't do anything about it. The UMP, the Tech 9, trying desperately to defend, sticking behind each other, but didn't work out. KNG finds them. Here it is, the replay. As both players go down. It's 8-3. That was just a partial bite there from the big side, so it won't take too much away from that, but 8-3. Mortals have 1.5, and they look like a much better team. I have to say it right now, so far. Round number 12. Wolf have a key once again. And fast play from Legia wants to be challenging that area. Has been hitting some decent shots. He's actually top ranking right now for Big, which is great for him, but not so great for the likes of Big. We need Tabson at the top there. He needs to be delivering a world-class performance to make it to the semi-finals here.
Extinguish the flames with smoke. Shot comes through, but it won't land. He still already has the one to take the damage early. Backs off.
Laying down smoke. Laying down smoke. Throwing flashbang.
And he again goes to KFC, and Steel on alley can actually, rather than playing window or rock, be more effective to support bolts, but they're comfortable leaving him there, and he's going to rotate back around because they don't have any further information. Bombs down toward B tunnels. Could go either direction with 44 seconds to work with, or thereabout. I anticipate A with a split from Tabson. Not a lot of utility left. Tons of kits for the post plant, but not a lot of utility left on the Immortals side. Incendiary, 2 flashes and a nade, and that is it. And the double op late as well, which is going to be K&G inside of the site under pressure. Keith can't open the first one on the T side. Up next is able to get Lucas. Tabson's down. Nope, that's the rotations. Wide open. Good shot, K&G. He wins the first off exchange. He stays on the side as well at 6 seconds. Bombs down. Round's over. 4 seconds. It's done. K&G's just got to stay alive. He doesn't even need to worry. What a no-scope. His teammate was already heading for the hills. He loses off. But the round is done. Bolts just staying alive secures it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Big looking a little bit out of the depth right now. Immortals, great side, hitting the shots that are required. K&G's getting fired up as well. Those flick shots are really tasty to watch. Manages to take 2 of those down. Like I said, he's had to survive there. Got a little no-scope to finish things off as well. He did go down eventually, but it's going to be God B with no money to the next round. He saves the AWP and armor, so that's fine. And now we have another tactical pause. This is not the Big we've seen throughout the tournament. Only Solomon Inferno, you have to remember that, but Immortals just looked like the better team right now.
It's not the tactical
prowess
we're looking to see. It's slow, it's defaults. They're getting into drop, and then they're just repetitively doing the same thing.
They're getting to the bomb sites. That's what you need. You're having numbers making it to the bomb site itself. It's just the final hurdle of getting that 1 kill and getting the bomb down. They're wasting a lot of time with that slow play style we just mentioned, but it seems like it's not really working out from the clutches. The players aren't stepping up in those particular situations, but K&G, he certainly is. What was this shot? Looking at the other side, and boom! Takes him down. That was really, really nice. Round number 13. We do have a force fight here, I think.
Well, I was just saying, we do. You're right to call that. Keep back on the AWP, because obviously they pick up what they can and force anything they can into this 9-3. We've only really seen one wall of smoke toward B. Nothing overly creative from Big, which I was expecting, I have to say.
They've got tactics on this map. They've got great executions towards the A side, especially as we were describing, but you're right, we haven't really seen too much of that as of yet. It's still early days. They can get 9-6 here, they're absolutely fine, but that does have to happen, I'd say. I don't think 12-3 is going to be good enough to carry them through here on Cobblestone. Tabson down to a Tech 9. Arguably want him on the AK-47, considering how powerful he can be. Keeve with the AWP, this time making his way towards drop down, trying to find the first pick, but up against double AWPs once again. This time though, it's bolts, not the AWPers on the platform, and Henny will just be trying to bait him in, take that aggro away. And there's Big once again setting up towards that B side.
Shots from Gabi, obviously mask. Keeve going in, quick bounce nade. Anyone that's close. It's AWP in the drop. He's tagged them both. He's absolutely right in his positioning. They'll follow it up as Legia gets bolts, but still stays alive in the rock. He'll actually put himself all the way over toward KFC. A single nade would take him down. To Henny. Smoke out. He's rotated around it. Finds Legia on the first one. Can't follow it again to next. A chance to work with a man advantage and the HP of Steel, but Steel goes overlooked. Timing everything. Timing off for Lucas as he looks the wrong way. K&G gets back in position. Another 2 plays from the secondary off as Keeve goes back out and can't get around the corner. It's shut down. 10-3.
Opening kills once again there for Big. It was looking so promising. It's that final hurdle. This time K&G, their nemesis once more. 3 kills to finish things up. Steel was still a chicken coop as well. I thought he was about to shut the round down. He gets 1 kill at the platform position. The thing was so key though, before Henny died, right? He dropped the incendiary at that drop down entrance, meaning the T side was segregated. Their presence at the platform, but they couldn't pinch it at the very same time. Just some great utility usage from Immortals. This is looking like a very strong performance from them. It's clinical. They're hitting the shots that are required. And it seems like Big might be out of their depth, I'm not sure. But the execution, the final plays, just don't seem on point right now. They're not hitting the shots required to really justify this really slow pace. Going to round number 14, I don't think this is a force fight. Obviously, Max and Rossburn has lost so many rounds in a row here. Current scoreline 10-3. after winning the second round force by getting 3 in a row. It's just dropped off completely. They've got Tech 9s, the Eagles, UMPs, left themselves about 2K so they can buy next round. And that execution play, smokes are lined up, no fakes here, sticking together, going towards middle with 2 players and 3 along A. 10-5 still fine. If they can pick this round up, this will be a struggle, but it's enough to work with.
Thompson with only 7 kills leads the way on the Tech 9. AWP spots the head. Good shot, KNG.
Monster, isn't he?
Good God, man. He's stepping up when needed. Lucas is able to quickly cover off the push toward the APC. Even though Next gets a trade back on Steel. He swings out, handles that as well. And they've got an inkling as to where Legia is. They won't exactly know all. Yes, why not? Why not, Legia? Give me something to cheer about. Oh, he's actually gotten this. He's taken down 1 versus 2, and he knows there was one more rotating over. He could have easily caught bolts off.
Yeah, decent attempt from Legia, I have to say, but for not gets the knife kill. It means he gets more money into the next round and can drop the orb. That's actually quite substantial for him. 11-3 though, cannot convert these rounds. Immortal is looking very, very good. KNG especially, what has he had for breakfast today? That was absolutely unbelievable, the shots he's hitting. Look at it, every shot just very calm. And we were told how good he can be at AWPing when he first joined his team, but we thought they've already got a Henny. Why do you need another AWPer? But it's paying off in spades right now. We're going to round number 15. Double AWP set up Salah, of course. Big lead this round. I said that they absolutely have to convert this one. Decent damage inflicted. Lucas might go down here as he sits in the flames, goes down to 18 HP.
Nade thrown bounced off. KNG's right, he knows they're below the ramp, so he adjusts accordingly. No shot landing. He's forced back again through danger. Lucas is going to try and sneak out behind them. He may do it as well. He's caught them off.
So good.
As Kiev rotate backs over and then gets away with it as well. No trade potential. Problem is he does, and he's well aware of it obviously with the Molotov down, but he's got nowhere to go. He's already lost his teammate that was supporting him. If he buys space though, he could potentially bait back in. Not going to. He's just drawing time. He's being a nuisance at this point.
Yeah, that is focusing on him as well. They have to find this frag. Lucas gets another one, the round's over, but they finally take it down. A minute to work with. They won't be timing this round out at least. Still though, headshots next through the smoke. Bombs in that position as well. They don't really have much to work with here, but that certainly helps. Got B finds KNG.
Got B. Steel gets one. Starts off the shutdown. And they've got it all again. 12-3 Immortals.
Yeah.
This look, again, Immortals win pistol. They get ecoed immediately after. It looks like Big's going to start to run away with it, and then non-stop. Non-stop. Speaking of non-stop, you've got all kinds of stats that never really stop flowing in. If you head to boomio.com, you can check everything out from the majors, see tips from all sorts of pro players that have been on the stage this weekend already.
Well, first half looking very good for Immortals, I have to say. 12-3 on the CT side. For me, that's just a win. That's a lock-in right now. This would be an absolute catastrophe if they gave this map away, but we'll see. Big, known to be a decent cobble side, and they'll be needing the pistol here. That goes without saying at this point. 4 sets of armor for them, a couple of flashbangs to work with. No upgraded pistols on T side. There's 4 sets of armor for them and 1 smoke. Now, smoke used commonly towards connector, A or B side, depending on where you want to go. And what seems like to split towards the A side through the connector itself, or you just go hard in towards B and try and overwhelm the CTs with firepower here. Looks like it's the latter. Got B looking to challenge and taps him. Rips off the KNG there.
He needs to do more than that though because he's lost his teammates. Steel's got Legia. He's getting overwhelmed. He's trying to pull Next back in, and Next getting back in at the right time. They'll coordinate for a crossfire, but Henny still finds a kill, and it's a 2 versus 2. The advantage though, too big, not only with the kill, but the fact that the bomb is down inside of the site, a site which Steel is flanking. They're going to have no idea where he is. They're starting to anticipate it, though, based on the fact that CTs have gone all the way back through B long. There's nowhere else he really could be. Stare him down in tandem, peek together. Watch that shot potential as Steel is bleeding out down to 28. Clock to get close. Next confirms that he's there with a repeat. Don't get over aggressive. There's no need.
Yeah, they don't have to give anything away here. Make him plan. Make him get to the bomb site itself. He's low HP. You've done the damage. Stick together, like you said. Give him 2 targets. Still can't do anything with it. Keith gets the final headshot. A must-need. Let's go around there for Big. 12-4. And managed to keep himself alive there somewhat as we get into round number 2. Don't necessarily have to force play on the T side. They probably will. With this sort of lead, could just focus on the AKs going forward. But they're going to bring out the Tech 9s, the Deagles, some armor as well. Very good on the pistols for sure. So Big not out of the woods just yet. And hardly firing on all cylinders. It's not the Big you kind of expect to get to a semi-final at this stage. They have looked amazing for the tournament. 3-0 against some huge names, but it doesn't seem to be the same plan a counter-strike at the moment. 3 UMPs, an MP9, and a Thanos for Tapson.
Steal down quick. God be ready. He's identified the fact there was more than just the one player dropping in, but moves himself accordingly. The other player mentioned, none other than Henny. He takes quite a bit of nade damage, throws the bomb back up as well. He nearly walked off the ledge inside of the smoke to get it. And he committed. All the rotations have gone toward the B side. Lucas seeing if anyone's going to push all the way through.
Well, here's the final 4. The hard work has been done for the CT set. Now, just hold the crossfires, wait for the final commitment to come in. Immortal should be taken down one by one. Time ticking away. Less than a minute now as Henny gets towards the drop down. He's got a flashbang though. Could find Goppy here. Goppy is decent at drop down. Knows what he has to do. This corner that could be an absolute shame, but the timing somehow Henny has the knife out of that point as we bolt so even back in the round of the headshot taps him.
KNG wants to get through. Lucas was watching flank. No one to worry about in that position yet. Instead, it's in the sight. MP9 key. Good firing range. Position as he gets closer and closer. Goppy will get the kill in the end. And swaps to the pistol to get Lucas because he's depleted his ammunition in the SMG, but Goppy gets the kill, the final kill. 12-5. Not done by any means.
Definitely not. Now they've got the pistol in that second round conversion as well. Let's take it round by round. It's not done yet. And number 18. 2K per play on the Immortal side. No bomb down in that previous round. So this will be the full eco. Maybe just a B rush. It can be a little bit frustrating and hold up for the whole round and see if any CTs make a mistake. But I'd expect Immortals to go for a straight rush. Maybe down towards middle, try and trade a frac. Keeping the gear go towards long A. It looks like they will be challenged indeed. As we head towards top and middle. Emphatic approach here from Immortals, it seems, as they go straight towards long A. Keeve waiting towards middle as well. He will be tested there. Can't give much away. Oh, look here, the timing's good for all about here.
This bounce on the nade actually goes closer to where they walked in from. Still pushing. Bolts is able to get Keeve, so double trade. And a site that's occupied until rotations. Tapson's just barely there in the nick of time before they get to stables, and that may do it because bomb down inside of the site. Henny. It's concluded by next. 12-6, they have it.
Yeah, got a bit dicey there, I have to say. The Glocks, and still a little bit unlucky with the timings though. Gear pulling his nade out just as they finally committed. He gives away UMP, but that's about it. Taps in to save the day, joined by Nex as well. First full buy for Immortals, no AWP there. 5 AK-47s, opting for more utility with the flashbangs as well. Not much in terms of the Molotovs, I don't think there's a single one there. It can be quite tricky in a map like Cobblestone to flush out positions at the upper platform, the tight corners, hop the hole, the tree for example. It's very difficult to actually get to the site while having that utility to work with. Or for Keeve, of course. Let's see if he can start hitting some big shots here. He's on 10 for 13 right now, but it's Lucas going in first, but Tapson taking him down.
Slows the play as Bolts backs off. Oh, good nades. Pucker up and give it a kiss. Rotten Apple takes him down to 56, and they'll find Bolts. Good push from Tapson. So no openings for Immortals now that they're on the AK-47 steal. He seems to be the one to want to go after drop. Does land a nade directly on top of Goppy. And then he'll follow up by dropping himself into the position, but it's being fortified and guarded. Tapson as well as going to be boosted up on the tree. And he'll stay, yeah, exactly, at an angle behind it by which he can see E-Box because they know Steel's in there.
And it's advantage still for the big side here. 5-on-3 to be exact, but here comes the final play. We said that tree position could be problematic, but for Steel, it seems absolutely fine for him. And bring a kill back. 1-3 now.
Next. Does hold off, watches back, he's stuck against the wall though, nowhere to go. KNG therefore is able to put it down once they have the information. Spraying in, he finds Goppy, they have opened something up late. Bomb's gonna go in, late Molotov as well means they won't be able to deny it just yet. But it's 2 versus 2, make it down to 1, they've got to go back for the bomb, and Henny burns alive. The Molotov did just barely get in position.
Yeah. Great play from Big. They've had a lot of advantages in this game that they've thrown away. 5-on-2s, 5-on-3s, but that one they convert. It started to fall apart slightly. We're still finding the opening kill toward that tree position, but finally it's looking decent for Big now, winning the first gun around here. The journey begins. It's going to be 4-0 in the second half. Looking decent. Good they bounce back. Certainly a possibility. As there's another eco here for Immortals. The gap in the scoreline starting to close. Slowly but surely. This could happen, man. Could have a real game on our hands now.
Deploying flashbang.
Diesel toward going against Legia. He backs off. Oh, the nade is perfectly positioned. Taps and gets a kill. Legia realizes he's got company on either side. Identifies correctly which wants to arrive first and gets the kill accordingly. Smoked off as he is, though. They want to try and rush directly by and get toward the A site, but Kyiv waits for the AWP. Should be a clean sweep, and it is. So Big fighting back valiantly. 5 in a row, they bring it to just a 4-round lead for Immortals, who have yet to score or put one on the board, if you will, on the T side.
But this is the first time they've got the AWP out. This is the real test for them. They were so hot with those weapons on the CT side, especially KNG. My God, some of the shots he was hitting were unbelievable. Henny, though, on the AWP, like he said, he did have some decent rounds, but slow to get into this game. He still hasn't hit double digits on 8 kills, 16 deaths. So sure, he's had some high impact frags, but hasn't exactly been carrying the AWP out. If I'm Immortals right now, I'm giving that up to KNG all day long.
Absolutely. On this map, 21 kills, he leads the way. Steals behind on 19. But much more of a team game in terms of kill distribution on the big side. Against the pressure toward long early A, that is. B has pressure at long from the CTs rather than anyone on the terrorist side, on the Immortals side. Bomb down inside of the tunnels as well. Play the pick. 3 players at long could flash each other around the corner. Lucas has gone quite far up and close to the corner, but still just waiting for his time to go. Flashes land, no one in position at the corner. Legia instead at the hay bales didn't get blinded up. He's able to find a single kill. Henny in the AWP is going to try and slow peek, but thankfully backs away and the smoke comes down. He's so low, Legia. He can't find the shot because the reason I was saying it was almost to the benefit of him that the smoke came in is that they were bringing out the AWP and Tabs' hands to try and get a shot, or rather, excuse me, the M4 and Tabs' hands to try and get a secondary shot. Meanwhile, Bomb is in position, blinded up. Goffy hears them, but doesn't have the vision. Good spot from Nex. Drops the bomb inside, finds the gap, finds KNG.
Yeah, it's really solid CT side from Big so far. Not done in this quarterfinal just yet, it seems. They have a timeout for Immortals here. It's towards long A. Legia's looking very strong there, confident almost. He's by himself, doesn't have anyone else to play off there. Takes the jewel, drops the smoke as well, completely isolates any remaining teams on the other side. He falls back, and it's up to GOB to defend the drop down area. He can't do it, but his teammate Nex, as we said, showing some fantastic form in this tournament, continues it ahead. 4 seconds remaining. Henny has to save the AWP. He's above drop down right now. Looks like he'll be fine to save the weapon. But Immortals, generally speaking, haven't really impressed me at all here in the second half. 12-9 as we start to close the gap. Immortals timeout does come in indeed, tactical for sure. Their first one, this shows you how kind of the difference in the first half and the second. They haven't had to use a pause whatsoever at this point, but now the sun is looking a little bit uncomfortable and working out what's the play here. Henny with the saved AWP. He's got armor, got a smoke to work with, but no money from not surviving that previous round. His teammates just at the maximum loss bonus here, $3,400 per player. A little bit more than that on top, so AKs and armor can come out, but 3 smokes in total, 2 flashbangs. Doesn't look amazing for them. In terms of the predictions here, the pick and challenge is going to be 68% in favor of Big. I guess it's about right, depending where you're from, but
it doesn't surprise me actually, just based on how they did in the group stages.
Sure.
I think there was a bit of a bandwagon behind that as well. So
yeah, it's fair enough. Well, number 22 then. All power for Henny once again. Hasn't been playing amazingly. Hasn't really opened up the maps that much in this D side. Goes towards the upper platform up against Kyiv. He's been pretty decent. And he's towards long A this time. Legia changing his position. This is a heavy B focus. So just Kyiv, the only player on the A side of the map. Legia towards drop down, backing up GOB as well, where he's had some aggro, but some issues there. So that's why it's good, right, to do it right now after you've shown Legia on that side of the map and having Taps in there as well, just to shift him over a completely different setup to try and counter what Immortals are doing. Oof, that nade. That's so good again. So well timed. Again, Molotov damage is actually extending a lot further than I think Lucas was ready for. Yeah, almost killed him immediately as he goes down to 19 HP. Well. No kill coming in just yet, but as good as. Lucas down to 19, still at 55. Kyiv comfortable was playing by himself, still towards top middle. They haven't really gained anything at the B side. No one in drop down and just getting bullied by the utility at this point. Big looking for double digits, and that's when things get quite scary indeed for the Immortals side. Could they actually throw the 12-3 lead?
Back over toward Kyiv. Bomb toward A. Legia is going to have to be high on his heels to rotate. A timely rotation. Good shot, Kyiv, therefore, to start it off.
Yeah.
KNG wants to slip in undetected towards Stables. He's at least gotten close to cannons, but wrapping around is the next challenge as Kyiv goes up. Can't quite get the shot, knows that there's two there, and therefore sits back and controls the tight angle. So close again. No chance on the third. KNG gets the shot immediately after. Bolts goes close, finds it. And tear down the Berlin wall because they've got a hole inside the defense. Playing the ball finally on A that Bolts can cover off. Taps in, and Henny finds the rotation of Goffby. The first for Immortals on a T side.
It was looking so good for Big at that stage. Got the opening pick, and I was about to say Kyiv, with that one pick and alone on the A side, buys him time. He gets towards the bomb side there, and a similar sort of play we saw from KNG. He's holding the tight angle on the bomb side itself, trying to hit the flick shots, jumping around. If he hits one of those shots, they probably win that round, but his Bolt's given a little bit too much to work with that, and his teammates find frags as well. They take down the players towards the balcony position. That's the first round here in the second half for Immortals. 6-1 is the scoreline. They cannot find double digits just yet, but they've got a ton of money to work with here. I'd say maybe a half buy next if they lose this round, but still very well equipped at number 23. Nothing too aggressive here from either side. Kyiv this time seems like he actually wants to push down long A. He was at middle before. Wants to try and find the first pick. That long corridor. That's going to be the B side. That's Immortals are focusing on for now, though. Looking to potentially execute here. Flashbang's going over. They're just bleeding out some CT utility on the other side. We'll drop a smoke as well. This will be an A split from what I can see right now, man.
Officer there, Nate. That is huge. Because it's already set now. They've already got damage and they'll just fall into the rain. Goffby! He is the Goffby as he shuts down drop one more time. Henny in a 1 versus 5. Apparently they didn't bring enough to tear down a wall this high.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. The nade, everything, the timings, the perfection as well. Sitting in front of the smoke, the 3-man spray down. Immortals have no idea what just happened to them. It's big. We're a really successful round there. Lost the previous, but now they get the double digits. Everyone's surviving as well. Goffby on an absolute rampage. Immortals can do nothing about it. They were setting up for that A split. They tried to get the drop down control where Goffby's been allowing them to have it. He's sitting outside the window, but this time he's in there. He's fighting, he's scrapping. And they managed to get all 3 kills. Another time up for Immortals. They're not looking comfortable here. And that's a full reset round as well, Matt. The fact is, they get no bomb down here. And let's look at it from Goffby. Just spotting them as they drop into the smoke, doing the damage, the full commitment with the 30 bullets. You'd love to see it. Goffby stepping up now. This is looking really bleak for them in the first half, but they found their footing now in the second. They can get a couple of rounds out of this. Still going to be really weak money for Immortals next round, even if they take a full eco in round number 24.
I'd love to see a stat for how much nade damage has been done in the opening sectors of the round. That's 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. They've hit multiple people for significant damage before they're even ready to go.
That's 1 HE in 2 rounds. It's done over 100 damage. That's kind of nuts. Very rare to see them being that effective, especially on map like Cobblestone as well. Number 24, it's going to be P250s, Deagles, no one, no loss bonus, already have that comfort. And another nade to the face of Bolts as he goes down to 45 HP. They're having a really rough time in that drop down area.
Yep, good find. He's dinked up. Spark clearly covers the screen, but he finds the kill anyway. Just 3 rounds for Immortals, but it seems almost impossible at this point. Momentum firmly with Big. Rotations go back over toward A to support Legia. Kyiv's going to sit nearby because, again, Legia on 13 can't do it alone. They'll give him the AWP, in fact, so Kyiv goes on the rifle. Not something we normally see, but has to do with the AWP positioning. He's able to get a kill as well, so justified. But they lose Kyiv. Q-taps in indeed. We talked about it. He always shows up. He's getting there now. 17 kills. He's catching Legia.
Yeah, he is. Just when they need him as well to close this game out. 13-11. A couple of rounds to go to tie up the scoreline. And there is going to be a buy for Immortals here. As we said, though, money is going to be weak generally. 4 AKs, a Galil for Bolts. In terms of utility, 2 players with any nades whatsoever, Matt. We have 3 smokes total, a Molotov. What's the play here? Do we just go fast? Do we just push straight into a bomb site? We haven't really seen that from them yet. Do quite slow and quite default play for Immortals. They're expecting faster rounds coming in. When they can really get it rolling, all the teams out of competition, that's when they look that scariest. But only posting 1 round so far. It's 8-1. This could fall apart the 12th before you leave. Surely not. A boost comes in, mixing things up once again. Every round is just so smart. Perfect calls now has got B. is ready and waiting, but Nex, same story as they walk in towards the B side.
Nex is waiting below the broken wall. He's going to swing behind him, and they look over, so KNG gets it open. That gives them the front side of the site to work with. Thompson drops the bomb, but they get 2 ensuing kills, therefore have control.
Yeah, much simpler rounds this time. 1 smoke, few flashbangs, 5 men towards the upper platform. That's what I'm saying. We haven't really seen that at all. Just simple, basic Counter-Strike, and use your star players to open up the bomb site there. Bolts, especially, lovely shot from him. Still chimes in as well, and you can see Big. They weren't really ready for that one. It's obviously that they're waiting for the execution to come in. They want the wall of smokes to give them cues so they can throw the utility back. That's what they've been so good at so far, is deploying the HE grenades, locking players out with the utility. But that's not really an option. They just help themselves to the B side like that. That's what we need to see more of from Immortals if they're going to close this game out. But this will be 2 saved weapons now. Kiev and Legia holding on to the AWP and the M4A4 as well. Plenty of money available for Big. You can certainly buy around these weapons, but don't want to give anything away for free. But Legia is fighting back. 2 kills for him. That's not bad at all. We know the Immortals' money is low, so every kill they get at this point is definitely worth it. Even the fact he goes down, it doesn't matter. He's got a ton of money in reserve. They do not. 1 round that they can pick up here, Big. They're back into this, and they shut it down. We have another pause coming through.
You mentioned Henny, by the way, early on, saying he hasn't really showed up. He got the 3 brilliant kills in the 5 versus 2 with his brother when they retook the B site, rather with denying the bomb plan. It wasn't even really a retake. It never had to come to that. But other than that round, he has been quiet, even on the CT side. Now, T side, admittedly, it's not like he can do as much to get aggressive with the AWP, more so because they haven't had the money for it. But he definitely has not been in this game in the capacity that I would have expected and wanted from him.
I've been noticing this throughout the tournament as well. I kind of mentioned it in the pre-game. It's KNG who's been AWPing primarily throughout this tournament. He hasn't looked himself, Henny. He's kind of looked a little bit out of his depth in terms of the shots he's hitting, and it's maybe the aggression we're used to seeing from him not happening. And KNG, he looks lights out. I'm not sure why he's just not taking the main AWP role. At this point, we're in the quarter-final and things are falling apart. Just think like, Henny, you're having a nightmare. Let me just do the main AWP at this stage. And you just have to make that call. It's a difficult one to make, but sometimes it has to be done. Well, number 26, 14-11. Immortals though, for winning the previous round, there's a huge chance he can get reset. Need to be very careful. It's never fast approach. This is what we wanted to see, man. Stay together, group up, get in those bomb sites.
Kiev, he's not quick enough. He does find 1 on bolts. He looked back down toward Ebot, but that means he's pushed and pressured for both sides. Good flying from Tapson to get a lurk late inside a connector. Shuts down any threat coming in from Immortals. And as you mentioned, this is a chance to break the money once more, and Big would be right back into it at 14-12, potentially get a 13th round on the back of it. So slow it down. The Twins again, this time 4 versus 2. Better than they won last time. They worked together on the CT side. Have to be weary of the flank walking around. Thompson's getting closer and closer. His timing's going to be perfect for spot in the open. Bomb down. Thompson gets both. And Big find 12 and break the economy. They certainly have control.
This is like double eco territory for Immortals. If they have a pause left, this would be the time to work out what's the play, to be forced by into this. They've got 4 players with less than $3,000, 2 of which very low indeed, beneath 2,000 in fact. Tapson, lovely work there. It's a clean round for Big as they close the gap. Scoreline's 9-2. Immortals getting shut down. They're trying to mix things up. They're trying to go faster now. The simpler plays, as I said, we haven't really seen that from them. It was great for the previous round, but that one just there didn't really work out for them. Tapson with a nice flank, and there will not be a force by him. Into round number 27. Things looking desperate now for the Immortals side. It's Tapson, aggressive of course towards the platform, finds the first headshot. It takes down Lucas. Legia, that's not bad at all.
Wow.
He finds 2 kills as well.
5-2. In terms of manpower, it's a very good job against the anti-eco situation, or rather with the anti-eco situation. Coffee gets himself in position through the door. Game after 12-3 on the most sloppy, I guess, T-side we've seen from Big throughout the course of the event. Tapson gets KNG, it's only Henny remaining. Needs kills on this P250 just to get money again. Ooh, nearly gets 1. Good tag, but 3 players there waiting for his arrival. We have 1 round between them.
Who would have thought? The CT sides. Well, as I said, the money's still not going to be great. Could have been double eco territory if they wanted to be, but they've opted for the buy here. Henny, just the CZ. Bolts down to Galil, UMP to KNG. I think I've painted the picture for you. It's quite a bleak scenario for the Immortal side. They do have the utility to work with. That's what they've opted for. This will be some sort of set piece. We need to see like a wall of smoke. You can't really just ride. I'm running into a bomb site with this sort of weaponry. We're going to have to deploy everything we've got. Throw the kitchen sink at them and see what's available as we get into round number 28.
Taps in, taking out KG, good shot, starts it off again against guns. Only 50 HP, but it's a decent. Oh, no, again, not again. Another massive nade. These guys are timing it to perfection. Tapson's already got the kill. He gets all the damage required. And on top of that, oh, they're blowing it up. They're standing and they're burning alive. They have no idea they're sitting on top of the plane to the Marshmallow Fest. As Goppy gets back inside, and he's going to be the best to shut down Steel. They'll lose themselves inside of the smoke, but watch for the apparition to emerge. Next. He's not haunted by any ghost to be Yule. Long left down on top of the platform, and another shot to tie it up. Ligia's got it, 14-14.
They're looking hot right now, Big. They're managing to hit all their shots, working perfectly as a unit. I wasn't believing coming to the second half from what I saw in the first, but this has been a marvellous performance from them. And you're right, tying things up at 14-14. That was the force buy for Immortals as well. They're going into round number 29 with pistols only. That's it. They're force buying in with Tech 9 CZs. And it's the nades once again, Matt. How much damage are they doing with these HE grenades over and over again? Playing out of their minds right now in the second half. The Gears up to 28 frags, not known as the biggest fragger. Arguably one of their weakest players, stepping up and going huge here in the quarterfinal.
Invigorated. Just come under some criticism in this event for all sorts of things we all know about. They've stepped up when it matters, and they actually are in a position to find map points against just pistols. Another nade potentially, this time from Molotov. Incendiary to be specific and precise.
Yeah.
That's a nade though, and it'll do damage again to the corner. It's not quite 100 damage, but
it's still decent. We'll take it.
I still see. I mean, the guns don't even have to do the work. You talk about M4s not being one-shot headshots. Well, okay, they are if you do 50 damage every time with a nade.
This must be the most damage of HE grenades you've seen in a single half. It's unbelievable the work they're doing with those. It's lesser utility, really. It's the one that's not purchased the most. They're obviously opting for the smokes, the flashbangs, and the Molotov. The HE is like a luxury sometimes. Oh, now the crowd are coming to life. They're believing. Here we go. Pistols, the final play towards the B bomb site. Immortals have to dig so deep this one. Losing round. It's pretty much over. Still no money. Final flashbang. Here we go.
Through the smoke, it works. They don't spot next to the archway. They'll get him back. And on top of getting him, they actually do find Gobby immediately before. So it's a 2 versus 2, but he with the AWP continues to look hot in this event. And a fast split puts map point on the board for Big first.
Nothing to work with there for the Immortals side, just pistols, armor, hoping someone can go absolutely wild with a Desert Eagle, find an opening pick, just something, but they couldn't get those openings. This is a 12-3 half. They've fallen apart. It seemed like Immortals were controlling the pace of this game. They had everything going for them, that double orb setup, the KNG performance. But this T side, just nothing has excited me at all in that play. They haven't really had the basics down. The map control hasn't really come in. They haven't had any clutch situations really. It's all just been whitewashes, getting completely wrecked at the drop-down room, especially by HE grenades as well. Final pause comes in. I should say 3 out of 4. You get what I'm saying. And Galil's, Deagles, Tech 9s. This is all they've got to work with here. Next, nice work to get the double frag there. And Keeve, he's stepping up once again here at this major. The coach is feeling it as well.
Goppy just ecstatic, as he should be. This team is the surprise of the tournament. What a package they've put together. 1 round to be 4-0 in total, and 1-0 in an all-important quarterfinal. Pressure on for Immortals, and not a lot to work with.
Definitely not. Galil's Wolfpack mentality towards Long A, but it's Legia. He's having a game. We'll see if he can hold them off once again. Drops the incendiary, but this time taken down by Steel.
Moves to danger. So first pick finally, for Immortals. Not something they've had and been able to secure very often.
And they upgrade one of the pistols to an AK now, getting stronger and stronger. A real chance to take it to overtime. Not be though aggressive towards long, not the greatest position, and get flashed off there. It's a one and done technically, but he can get backed up by his teammates.
Boost for Tabson.
I like that boost though. This is exciting. The Tabson can cause some damage here, but they are focusing primarily towards long A. He's going to have to turn around and back up. Got B. Good smoke though. Perfect smoke.
Slow him down. Partially blinded. Can Tabson see above it? That's the better question. This time from Godby, and we might have overtime on the cards. Tabson's forced off of it. It's a 5 versus 3, and he's got caught out by KMG wrapping around. Of all times to not be able to shut them down. Oh, next. So close to taking out Steel. 2 HP, a WP for Kiev, but he's got to go a lot further than just one kill in a panic situation toward the vent because bomb planted. He has a kit, but no further utility, and he's stuck on the AWP at least for now. If he wants another gun, he's got to get a lot closer. Wrapping around as well, even if he goes toward the huts. Bolts finds him from the top of the ramp, and we've got extra rounds.
We're going into overtime. It didn't look likely there. Immortals struggling tremendously on this T side. Great half from Big, I have to say, but falling at the final hurdle there. Everything's reset now. That momentum is not carried through. 10k per player. MR3 will be first and 19 at the top of the scoreboards. 18-18, we do it all over again. We do not swap halves, and Immortals stay on the T side here. And it seems like they're finding more success with these simpler plays, just grouping up, focusing on long A, finding that first pick as well. The gear that went down first has been an absolute monster in the second half. Round number 1. CTW very careful with their economy here. Key with the AWP. No head out by 3 players, not really required. Not be up against any SMGs or anything like that, but here we go. Faster play towards this. Could be a straight up rush. All 5 players towards the upper platform. Here we go.
They're in, they're going. Next Tabson are not in position, they're not ready for it. Okay, the first kill shut them down. Early on the denial of entry. So far they trade, but trade's not yet enough if it's chaotic and allows for the bomb plant, and better than trades. Henny's able to slip up and find next, leaving Kiev again in another 1 versus 3, and off purchased overtime MR3. He's bailing, he wants to keep it.
Yeah, has no choice there. It costs a lot of money to bring the AWP and the armor out, some basic nades as well. You're not left in much money at all. He's actually only got $3,900. 1,400 on top of that next round, so has to save his AWP.
Great call to change the pace.
Why
we
not?
didn't see that from them all.
You've got these star players, these raw aimers. Pound for pound, Immortals do outfrag Big pretty much every single time. And why are you not just focusing on that? Instead of the 5-man unit, get that rush going on. Instead of getting the defaults and getting wrecked by HE grenades, this is get in there. Let's start hitting some shots. Let's let our star players have some movement. And it's Henny gets 2 frags into the round, and B-Rush is all the call they need, apparently. I like that a lot. One's out for them. They go down 1-0 here. Nice way to kick off overtime. Great call. Just the first family rush. What you're usually aiming for, the rule book, the strategy book, whatever you want to call it, goes out the window in overtime. You're trying to think back, what worked there? How can we adapt what we've currently been doing? Why are we getting shut down across the board? And now, to stick together, I like it. Simple, but effective. Number 2 now. Still with the AWP, of course, after saving in the previous. Money, though, if you lose this round, you're left with pretty much nothing. You get UMPs and pistols, and that 2-0 comes in. You need to be very careful, manage the economy well. If you have to save, sometimes it's better just to do that and think about the future instead of trying to have the heroic plays.
Close proximity to the doorway. Yep, he wants them to walk in. Thank you very much. I'll take charity at any point in time as Lucas is at least able to trade it back by getting Godby to a drop. Kiev double scoped, wants the first shot. Jump across, forget it, he'll flick. Will flick indeed. Oh, nearly gets it. Molotov will lock down the position, flash up over the wall. He wanted to re-peek it, but got blinded himself. Creative way of doing it. Bit optimistic at how much distance he has to travel. Watch that smoke. And watch the boost on the reverse side because they've just put K&G up with the op. Kiev's got to be a lot more careful about how he chooses to repeat. Flank heading toward Legia. Smart reposition for the CT side of AWP and Kiev, but next stairs turn it out immediately. Kiev, as I mentioned, repositioned though, controlled, but not the speed for the second kill, and overwhelmed as taps in behind the rock. Where is this coming from? Immortals finally getting space, but bombed it. Oh, missed shot. Legia had to hit that early and bring it to the one-on-one as soon as the bomb was planted. Now the element of surprise gone, but still he's able to push through. Bolts is not ready for it. Lucas comes back through toward Legia, backs it off. He's got a smoke, he's got the kit, but if he goes immediately on top of it, Lucas is going to play aggressive so they can't hold it. He might have gotten away with it, but there's no sense chancing it if he still has time. Molotov close side, this is going to be hold because it's going to force him back. He's got to go wide around, he's protected. What a brilliant Molotov! What a brilliant Molotov to force out the time and position.
Very calm. Great work there from Legia. Knew exactly what he had to do there. I was about to say as we were building that one up, he's got a smoke and an incendiary. He can lock off two key points of the map there. Wherever he's going to be struggling. I thought he dropped the incendiary towards drop down, then goes to that defuse. That's the only place he can be is connector or the drop down room. He can be doing to the full defuse of that plant as well. The incendiary towards that area. He's done it, but like you said, even better perhaps. Covering himself with the smoke. A little smile there perhaps. He knows he's enjoying himself. He's having one hell of a game. Probably the best performance I've seen for Legia in quite some time. Rush middle. That's now dictating the pace.
That nade again!
Happening.
It's absolutely slaughtering them as KNG at least trades it this time, but it gives Legia again a chance. Smoke down. He's got to push through it because he's given up A and he's being watched, but not anymore. Patience. Patience not anymore either because Goppy's got the kill, but he's still in a good position. KNG knows it. He's going to go hunting for him. Spots the head, but can't get the shot. A big whiff. Leaves them locked on twos. HP relatively even. Advantage to the bomb plant. Legia tagged through the door. Wasn't ready for bolts to appear. AWP for Kiev to win the first overtime half. He's spotted in the open. His steal goes high. Immortals get two. Big only get one.
Immortals do get two after having a shocking regulation T side. They've seemed to have adjusted themselves, kept it simple as go for these rushes. But you're right, that nade once again in the middle. How much damage can be inflicted with the HGs here? It's unbelievable. And this problem is they're trying to stick together. They're trying to keep it simple, and that's going to be a massive issue. You get an HG thrown at you. It lands in the massive group of the players there, but still they recover. And the clutch not working out with a decent flank from Legia as well. And he stepped up tremendously for the big side, but wasn't quite enough. They switch over to the T side now, where they struggled as well. Remember, it's 12-3 in the first half. Do they have a similar mentality? They just start grouping up and saying, let's stick as that 5-man unit. They're getting wrecked by the double AWP setup, and that's what's coming out once again. Immortals, KNG especially. He was quiet in the second half. I'm expecting some huge things now.
Laying down smoke.
He's getting cheeky with the T side off. But he's had most of his success, to be fair. How does it always seem to go that when T-sides are struggling the regular 30 rounds, and you hit overtime, and suddenly they appear with a change in pace and urgency? Watch out for Godby to check corner. If tactics weren't a thing the first time they played on the T half, they might need to be now slow pace again. KNG's watching down to bottom of middle. Penny on the other op is towards Chicken Coop, and they're still not deciding on the big side where they want to go. Very patient from Immortals. Indeed. Not flying into any of the slow play from Big, not going for information that could cost them.
One more round from that point. Don't want to give anything away here. Pushing that CT side, don't want that money to start dwindling away. Will be an 8-7 attack. Thompson once again a drop down. His 4 teammates waited to execute, but they did run out of time. They weren't managing that correctly in regulation. It's going to be still the fight tap. Have to keep back. Here comes the final commitment there, but Legia hitting shots once again.
Good opener. They know Lucas is toward the barrels. The problem is to get far enough inside of the site to get him. They have to cover off the balcony. They've done that. And down they both go. Bomb plant follows immediately as Steel goes down to next. Very good entry, and it wasn't strategical, it wasn't tactical, it was just straight up entry kills. And leaves Henny versus 3. It was 4. Chances of anything beyond that, pretty slim. Doesn't have a kid either, so backs away. 17-17.
Indeed. It's 18 required from that point, but Big do tie things up. Slow and steady as usual, but this time much better. I thought Immortals could pick that one up, considering one of the key scalps of 4 big went down first. Taps into that drop-down room. They go towards A, they stick together. McGee opening things up. He manages to get 2 frags in total. He's having one hell of a performance, I have to say. Keith with the AWP as well. You said it's a little bit cheeky in the T side, but it works out for them that round. And then a pause comes in once again. This must be the final pause now, I think. Not a lot of them. Just a chance to calm down, work out what the play is. We didn't see the best T side from either of these teams. So tactical time for Big, yes indeed, their last one. 4 out of 4. A chance for the coach to chime in, give his input, help out God be with this final call to get them to map point potentially here. Double up setup. Not sure it's a possibility right now. We'll have a look. Single. So yeah, Henny, he gets the only AWP here. And again, I have to say, Matt, why is KNG not AWPing on the CT side of Cobblestone?
He's been much better, to be fair.
He's got 28 frags, Henny 13. Sure, he is the main AWPer, but you've got to ask yourself, like, if someone's not playing that well, maybe it's time you just took the rifle and gave him the responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing to the strengths. He's certainly been one, KNG.
Like he's been anchoring the A side as well, meaning you got 4 players towards that B side of the map. I think that's cool for me, but who knows what's heading up to this round. He's decent in the B bomb side generally. This hasn't really arrived, apart from one very important round.
Spray through the smoke. Next will jump across. This is only map 1, let's not forget. Immortals allowed Inferno to come into the pool. SK were bested on by Big. Not so sure we can still say they're the little brother anymore, Immortals. I think they're emerging from the shadow at this point. In this event, they are legends, rightfully so. Oh, look at the nades again. This time it's against Big. They're the ones caught off by a really well-thrown double bolt-on play. Tapson and Godby get trapped between it. They know they were going for that position every time in the first half. First time they played T-side. Next, was snapped to his perspective, but it's Legia instead that finds both of them in the top steal. He slipped behind them, but will that go undetected or not? Tapson is ready for it. And Big, for their second time, might find the first map point of overtime, their second in the game, that is. Lucas is the last alive. Nade thinks about it. It would have been a kill. He'll continue to try and do what he can. Pretty much has to at this point in time. And through the edge of the door, they spot him. Godby's able to capitalize. 18-17 for Big.
Once again, it's McGee opening things up towards that B side. That's a huge weight off their shoulders, guaranteeing second overtime if required, and the money's going to be broken for Immortals. We described it in the build-up to this overtime. Go 2-0 down, and then left with pistols, and saved him 4 from what I can see. The KNG had some more residual cash, so he's got the M4A4 out too. 3 smokes and flashbangs, 4 pistols and a rifle. If ever there was a chance to close out for Big, this would be it. One round will do it. Immortals to dig deep once again. Can they find anything with the Desert Eagles and the CZs? Here we go. It's building up once more.
Kiev watches wide side of the smoke as they continue to approach. Legia will be the leader. The hard charge. Tapson's going to go solo this time down. Drop knife out to jump in. Bolts is ready. Bolts goes undetected. Bolts finds 2, almost a third on a 5-7. But Tapson makes his way in from the E-box from drop. And bomb down, they have the advantage. Lucas with the deal, only to work with no kits. KG down, rifle gone. The comeback might in fact be complete from the German side, even if they needed extra rounds from 12-3 down. Lucas will walk in, it's all up to him. They're ready for it. They'll spot him out as he goes around the corner. Everyone faces. Whoa! Lucky shot finds Tapson as he retreats back out. AWP has to back off from Keith. If he finds a shot on Godby, don't rule him out. Ooh. He's got it as well. He's only got 12 HP, but he's lost track of where Keith is. The shot, he's on it. Keith, why is he not peeking? Goes for the knife. Oh my goodness! You talk about config, BM. Take that and stick it. He throws it back in Immortal's face. A risky play, but Big are magnificent in one to decide it.
Of course.
With a knife.
Yep. Well,
way to go, Kiev.
You love to see that. That's great. Kiev's very good in this map, especially. I think he's great. As we discussed earlier, he went toe-to-toe with Fallen on his particular map, considered one of the best CT openers we probably have. And got lots of frags against him. Looked very convincing. And Inferno, just remember, they've played this map 3 times in this tournament, Matt. They're very comfortable in it. Obviously, a lot of information available for the Immortals side, but do they read into that a little bit too much? Who knows? But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The scoreline, 1-0 in favour of Big. They win Inferno, that will do it. Let's make some noise as we get into the Inferno T-side start for Big. 2 sets of armor, 3 smokes, Molotovs as well. We know it's going to be tactical, it's going to be technical, and I would guess towards the D side. That would make sense considering the Molotovs they've got, but they have been flirting the idea of going towards middle as well. They've got great smokes for that side.
Bolts has already checked it, already spotted it. They know that they like to go that route. They came out of spawn on the right side, this secondary entrance. So no Bolts has spotted it. They haven't slowed the pace at all. He's the only one in the site. The others stacked up early B with a push down. Kiev could catch them off. Thankfully they'll rotate back instead of the flank, but it's all pressure for Bolts. They've rotated Lucas and K and G. Rather than the flank, rather than the aggressive push to commit, it's a systematic rotation back, and it's actually quite well timed, and it favors Immortals in the fact that they get 2 kills to work with. Kiev's going to try and work his way into B on his own. Good shot, steal to spot. Good shot, steal to kill. Catches Kiev on the way by. Yeah, the next same result. Different player firing, to be fair. It's King is the maker. Gobby is in a 1 versus 5, so tactics not really an aspect or factor in the round. Good information early from Bolts, and I actually don't mind the setup from Immortals to rush 2 down and then back off with a quick rotation.
Why not? Get aggressive. We know it's going to be an execution-based play from Big. You find that first pick, that completely shuts down whatever they had in their minds to bring to the table there. They get the first kill, and still he's starting to arrive now. 3 kills there in the pistol, and no plan for Big, meaning the buy has to come in here. We're going to see a force buy with Tech-9's PT50s. These smokes are working as well, but none of it's just yet. There was a back and forth affair in the early stages of Cobblestone as well. Remember, Big lost the pistol on Cobble, but then the only rounds they got, 3 of them were after winning this second round force buy. Seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? But it certainly happened. No aggression from Hay this time. Had a really rough game. Takes a little bit of damage there. Lucky to only take that much, I would say. But Kiev burning alive down to 55 HP.
Back off, deep smoke still deployed. Just 2, it appears, for Henny. His brother just in front of him. Of which are on SMGs. Bolts with a shotgun, one aggressive toward the apartments. No one was there. Big, without the early rotation coming back in from Immortals, could catch them off.
5 players towards this B-bomb site. Lucas and Henry playing off each other, of course. The twins going at it. 1 in new boxes and 1 a second orange. We'll see if it works out. We need to find this first kill.
It's got a problem. They've got a problem because they get the kills on the way through. And the late rotation, KNG's only just made it towards CT. Now smokes are still deployed. Default plant. A 4-man situation to work against the 3 of the Immortals players. Steel has a kit. They have 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, 3 flashes to work back in. KNG starts the charge from Ruins. No one at the oranges to be spotted. Tabson refusing to peek. Stack up at Emo. Gobby can play this off of Nex, who's gone wide. He's low on HP Nex, so he can be somewhat sacrificial off the Tech-9. Checking all the way through. They spray down both Steel behind the pillar. Gobby does really well. But Bolts with the shotgun takes down Tabson. 1 player left in it. It's Legia. And he's got it down to a 1-on-1. He's on it though. He's inside of it. Legia's lost track. Legia's lost the round. Immortals inside his smoke. Get it. With a late defuse and another knife attempt. Come on, Big.
They gave it the best shot there. It was a great entry to the B side. The smokes were great. The execution was on point. They managed to get the first 2 kills. And just to know, Matt, I was about to finish my point, but this is more exciting. Big are force buying in round number 3 as well. The bomb goes down. They bring it down to the 1v1, so they're going to try and do what they can. 3 UMPs, 2 Tech-9s as well. They've got a map in the bag already. They can afford to be a little bit cavalier with their approach in terms of the buys. Immortals getting fired up, just in case you're unaware. You can see your opposition there, face to face in those glass booths. So a bit of banter, a bit of showmanship. It will be coming in eventually. KNG trying his best there to rile up the big side. Number 3. Smokes aplenty for the terror side. Tech-9s, UMPs, not so much in terms of firepower. It was very close, but the shotgun retake there, managing to deny Legia the clutch. Another situation for him where he could have been the hero.
Back toward the apartments. The big Saigon beat next to Kiev on the SMGs. Early aggressive call from Big. Passive setup toward Pit. Again, Graveyard's popular. We've seen it a lot this weekend. This week. It has been a week since it started. Last Sunday, Henny timing goes down. He gets it right, but actually gets dinked up. They're going to try and chase him all the way back to the site. He's got to get around the half wall. He's tagged again. Now they can't quite close it. It was the right idea to chase, but KNG meanwhile over toward A is able to catch off Tabson on entry. Flash over was a little bit late. And the crossfire is very well established, including that of Archway as Lucas lets them walk by.
Well, could get the bomb down here. They head back towards B, and Henny's very passive in CT spawn. He's low HP as well. Needs Lucas and KNG to join him, which they do, but the smoke's decent. A plant here. Very likely plant to stay on the CT side.
Godby's got to be very careful on 13 HP with that smoke down, and they're spamming through it. He's as well. He's only going to get to default now. He may not even get that play because they're spraying through. Apparently the coffins are made of steel because they're able to hold off enough to get the plant down, but Nex will not survive. And it's another round for Immortals.
Yeah, so not winning the round, but it's not all lost. Big getting that bomb down just about. I have no idea how it got planted there. 4 seconds to try and get that bomb down, and somehow dodging all the bullets. 3 players do survive there for Immortals. It's going to be 3-0 in their favour, but a bomb plant, oh, it's a bit rough now for Big. I think they'll take a timeout just to work out what do we do in terms of the buy here. We've got $4,500 for Nex. Everyone else hovering around the 3K mark. Lagia, 3,700. Tabson yet to frag, but very early days. It's Immortals now. This is a fantastic position for them. Just keep their SMGs, keep farming some money here, establish themselves after having a rough couple of rounds in terms of close scenarios, but this is looking very promising now. So Lucas has let us know, so okay, this might just be a technical issue. We did have some mouse problems coming into this one.
It's on Henny though, not on Lucas. Henny does not look very happy.
Well, he hasn't really been playing lights out right now. It's been a very quiet performance, and everyone, even on the analyst desk, was kind of agreeing with me, I guess, saying, why is KNG on that main AWP? Like, pride could not be a thing in the majors, right? You've got to say, like, who's performing better? Both AWPers, sure, it might not be the system you've worked on, but it felt like that was the call for me. KNG's hitting absolutely everything, wrecking the opposition, 28 frags after regulation. You think, like, surely we'll give him the AWP, and Henny seemed to be the main AWPer throughout, which is fine, that's his role, but it definitely is not having these better performances. That's normally the thing, is either 10 out of 10, amazing, looking so good, so fast, flicking everyone, but other times you can just drop off completely.
Definitely an issue. Hopefully this time he has his headset in the right way.
Yeah, that would be nice. If you are just joining us, the second map of this best of 3. The last quarterfinal of today, at least. We have one more tomorrow. That's when the hometown heroes come in. That is Pro up against North. That should be quite the game, especially in this arena.
And a direct rematch of the quarterfinal at E-League.
That's true, where Virtus Pro bested them just about after that amazing performance from Majors Boy.
And you know that after all the banter, as we always refer to it as on Twitter, that Config is going to be a target. Virtus Pro are going to be all over him.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, that's going to be one hell of a game. That'll kick things off tomorrow. For now, Immortals just working out how they can fix the issue. We're not sure what it is. There have been a few issues with the mice, but headsets are off and Big, as you can see. Not chatting there, just going to sit in silence until we're ready to go.
It's on the right, in-game leader. It's to be swift on his calls and how aggressive they try and get in the face of Big on this map. And he does not look pleased. He looks rather dismissive, actually, about the whole situation.
Well, after crashing out with that 12-3 lead, you would be a little bit gutted, wouldn't you? This is a big game.
You gotta drop it. That one's behind you now.
Well, they're known as a very emotional team, emotionally invested into every game they play. Very pumped up and everything's working, but as soon as it crashes, the morale can go out the window. It's not looking too fantastic in that booth. They're winning right now 3-0. You think they'd be all fired up, but I guess the technical issue, just trying to work out what the problem is there. The admin's working away.
Copy, staring across, wondering what's going to take. How much longer they'll be.
Lucas is still not on the server, so I can only assume it's...
They've given him his cell phone as well, so I'm assuming he's doing a re-authentication right now to get, or two-step authentication to get back into Steam.
Exactly. That's what it will be.
Yeah, he's just submitted his cell phone back to them, I think.
Well, we did say coming into this one that Immortals would have a chance to watch plenty of Inferno games of Big. They've only played this map in this tournament up until the previous one. They had 3 showings on Inferno. For sure, that's great. It's obviously a map they're comfortable on, but it means Immortals, Zach, the coach, can watch those demos all day long, get all the nuances, all their little tells as to what they like to do. They're a great team in terms of executing with that B bomb side especially. There's not many teams that play like them in terms of smoky in front of the site, going for those CT spawn splits towards the site itself. It's very inventive, but definitely can be countered. It's just quite rare to see the only team that's running that right now. I'm sure more and more teams will give it a go as Inferno develops. That was the thing with Inferno previously. Just when we had it removed from the map pool, it was just getting to a really exciting point. Like it seemed like T-sides were a lot more compelling, a lot more ideas were being developed, and obviously got removed from the pool. It's great to see it back. It's one of the best maps, I think, in terms of how Counter-Strike should be played and the kind of different approaches you can bring to the table.
Yep, enjoying himself. But wants to jump back in. Well, apparently, Henny does have the broken mouse still and does not want to play with it any longer.
Could we just address
Why
this
do we
whole...
not have 2 mice for everyone?
Why?
Here?
This getting mad now, isn't it? Like you see on Twitter, players needing spare components. Surely the mouse...
It was Kiarby that was playing with someone else's?
Surely you just bring the spare mouse. And these guys are sponsored by all the companies and all the mice you use. You get them for free, no problem. Bring 2 with you. The most important thing you need. The keyboard, play of anything. Mouse map, not ideal, but you could play of another one. Headset, nothing. The mouse is the one thing you do need with you, by your side, with the settings, the right model. Can't just be a similar one, it has to be the exact one, right? So yeah, just a PSA. Let's make sure we start bringing 2 mice. Maybe that should just be a requirement in the contract. Your org says that. Just make sure every event you've got 2 mice. If anything goes wrong, which probably won't, you've got a backup. The crowd is still here. Seems like Big are the favourite team generally.
Entire section. I will say that section was a little bit quiet.
In the first
at the start of the game, the first half of the first map. Not now. Zach is looking rather animated. They're obviously not pleased about this situation. You have to wonder what caused the mouse originally. Is this a look back at it?
It was Henny, right? And he was having a very
I think this is it. We're going to see it right here. So that's why the mouse doesn't work.
You punch the mouse?
I would say so. I heard the right click is not working.
He punched the mouse. Of all the things to try not to damage, don't attack the mouse. It's innocent.
So at what point? Is this on him? Is it on...
If you don't have a spare and you broke it yourself, we can't wait forever, right?
I think it's kind of on you, unfortunately, friend.
Not really much to do that. Obviously, there'll be pro players here. They look like a Zowie mouse, more like a Gabba. We can't sit around forever waiting for him after he broke his own mouse. Just don't punch it, maybe. That's one way to avoid that situation. We did see some punching from the big side. Remember back at the minor?
Yeah, that's right. Legia broke a table when they got knocked down to the lower bracket of the playoffs.
2 very fiery teams in these booths right now.
One of them's all smiles, to be fair. I have broken 1 mouse before. You're right, they are getting emotional because I can see heads in hands right now.
Well, this is the problem now. They're going to be focusing on this, and if they have to play with the broken mouse, he has to rebind, right click. He's an AWP, right? He needs it. Either he'll have to go down to a rifle. That's all his only option will be. He won't be able to use the AWP if it's broken.
KNG can pick up the AWP.
Well,
we've seen that.
Might be a blessing in disguise, perhaps.
Just saw a second ago KNG with his head completely in his hands. Steel looks tapped out. This is not a good position for them to be in mentally right now. They're looking really out of it. So they have got him a new mouse. That's a change. He's untangling the cord. Looks like a Steel series. So yeah, I think that's the same as what he did have. It was not a Zowie. Get them into the server. Hopefully this will calm them down.
So the new mouse has been found, plugged in. Should be good to go. I guess it will take him a little while just to get used to it. It obviously is going to feel slightly different. That's why players want to use the same mouse all the time. It's their specific one from home. So you have to kind of wear the feet in. It has a different feel. It'll take maybe a couple of minutes now just to kind of get used to it. Not really much you can do in the pause time though, unfortunately. You won't be able to jump around or do much with it.
Nope, it's going to be trial by fire. Again, it's partly on him.
But yeah, let's stop making this a thing. Let's bring 2 mice, and if anything ever happens, it's ready to go. Either way, hopefully we should be ready to go as well. It's 3-0 in favour of Immortals right now. Everybody's joining us. You missed a hell of a game on Cobblestone. It was big. They went down 12-3 on the terrace. I couldn't really get much going whatsoever. It looks quite poor, uninspired at points as well. And then they switch over to CT half, win a pistol, and a lights out performance from the gear finds them in the lead here in this best of 3. And 2 maps they're probably very happy with, Inferno and Cobblestone to kick things off. We're on Inferno right now, and I said it when I saw the map pool. I said this is looking likely to be 2-0 to big. The fact is they've beaten SK Gaming, they've beaten FaZe and Cloud9 as well. They deserve a mention in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are big names. Cute. Well, yeah, there you go. There it is. It's back. But
it's true. I mean, Cloud9 were in the finals last week in Cologne. Big were playing in a show match, they called it, in the Meisterschaft tournaments, I think, or league, if you will, the German league, German championship. Yes. And now they're here in the playoffs after besting Cloud9, and as you mentioned, FaZe and SK, 2 of the top 3 in the world.
Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought? It looks like we're underway. We apologise for it, but like we said, a very emotional team. Very fired up as along the line here. It's their first major. Young man, of course, and sometimes the emotion gets the better of you, and he punched the mouse and ultimately broke it. He has a replace now, as Henny were talking about. And it looked like, like you said, like you can see, he was just alive before he punched it, and then I think it must have been as they lost the round in terms of the game. That's when he lost it a little bit there. It does happen.
It happened in the last map, to clarify, because there was a whisper in my ear saying that he was having issues as we started on Inferno. Obviously, they thought there weren't issues that were significant, and then discovered after the first round or second round, as it were now, that they are.
We're back. Thank you for bearing with us. Round number 4. The economy for the German side hasn't been looked after that well. They took a bit of a gamble and forced buying 2 rounds in a row with a bomb planted. Didn't work out for them, but they do have enough to squeeze together this. 2 AK-47s, a UMP, and damage being inflicted. That's still getting things to the very start. That's through the wall. As you can see, that's got B doing that damage. So that's great work. You can see the blood splatters on the wall. Send steel packing. That's going to be the first gun round. We'll see whether they can convert this weak buy into something at the top of your scoreboard right there. It's currently 3-0 for Immortals.
Again, they're going to play passive. Lucas the only one toward Banana. Henny watching Arch so that KNG doesn't have to worry about them wrapping around, and he therefore closer inside of the A site with steel and bolts. With a flash, looks like at the ready. To go above library, perhaps allow a repeat. Exactly that. They're a little early in doing it. No one's arrived just yet, but Lucas is about to come under threat. And remember, he is alone. Goppy puts him down. Rotations have to be quick and fast. They've got a little bit of time to get there, but not the utility goes down from Big. Remember, we will, I expect at some point to see the long smoke rapture ruins, but not in this round. It's not required. What is required is watching the fact that they've gone through the smoke. KNG's caught them off. Good time flash. They had no idea he would be there. Inside the smoke itself, he gets next. Doesn't quite wrap up the round, but a very bold play, and it shows to work because bomb goes down. It's Legia versus 3. 17 seconds. His information, eyes on only one so far. He's about to be flanked out. Doesn't even need to be required if Steel gets the kill.
Lovely, lovely work there, I have to say, from KNG. managing to dispatch of his opponents from CT spawn, and we'll see whether he can keep that up. That was a good player, considering as well Big with a huge advantage. One player waiting on the side, that was Lucas, got taken down. The CTs have to be very quick in their operation, pushing for the smoke. The flashbang was great, and KNG, great performance of the AWP in the first map, this time delivering with the M4A4. That third kill for the smoke as well, a little bit cheeky there, manages to put it off. 4-0. That was a weak buy for Big, but they're going to have maximum loss bonus next round, so they can afford to take a partial buy this time. PG50's Tech 9s, very fast pace play towards the bedroom. All 5 players here as well. We saw a lot of HE damage in the first map. That one doesn't quite land. This will be a smoke towards Arch side, possibly towards the library as well. Flash out, try and get that bomb down, and KNG playing in front of the smokes. That's intelligent. Let's see if it works out for him.
Even waiting longer. Taps and waits for the flames to extinguish themselves. His teammates get ready at the top of the middle. Still there. Good spot though for KNG. That a little bit there. Forces the hand and taps and has to go. Walks directly into a crossfire. Good finding Gia, but that's not going to amount to much. Especially with Lucas well positioned to follow up with a hat trick.
5-0. Al-Shabai not really finding much of Big whatsoever. Still very early days there. 5-0 though in favour of the Brazilian side. The AWP coming out. This time it's for Henny. Double AWP setup, definitely a possibility. I'm sure will be coming out at one stage, and why not? KNG with an absolutely godlike performance of that weapon in the first half of Cobblestone. Managed to get almost 30 frags, and Henny not so much. And considering he's got his whole mouse issue as well, that quiet AWP performance, I'm not expecting too much, but let's see whether he can recover and get back into this. Looking very good for Mortal so far, but they are on the CT side of Cobblestone. The AWP's going towards Banana. Lucas and Henny working in tandem to try and find the first pick.
Bolts is going to get very, very aggressive. This is what we were talking about, trying to get face-to-face when they're not ready. This is a free kill. Up and to the right, not even. Taps and drops down. Forget setup. Mortals are taking the fight. Perhaps they have something in this. Perhaps there is a reason they left Inferno in the pool. Deep smoke again for Henny that allows him to stay solo toward Banana. A little bit longer. Big gap in that smoke, but he has an AWP that's looked directly toward it. Advantage to him, perhaps, with it.
5-4 now, 1 minute remaining. Very slow and methodical team, Big, that's for sure. But Henny, he's set up perfectly here. The fact he has the AWP in this position, it's great. He can find one frag, he's still safe as well. It's very difficult to pre-fire on that, and he nails an absolute blinder of a shot, takes down Keith. 5-4, changes the line, and still safe at this point. He's trying to buy as much time as he can, keep them pushed off, and just hitting shots as well. Lovely stuff from Henny.
Additional nades toward top of middle. Gia and Gabi backing away. AKs. In hand. Still in hand. Gabi, speaking of his overlooked the fact that Lucas is baited back in, and Lucas is looking quite lovely over the last 2 rounds on his rotations.
Yeah, absolutely. Henny now finding some form as well, that's good. Just change the mouse, rough performance from Cobblestone, gets that kind of play. When you're solo on B as well, you're the anchor. You need to deliver some frags there, you can't go down with nothing. He stays alive, finds 2 kills, buys some time. Really nice stuff. That's a textbook round of Counter-Strike from Mortals there. Then round number 7, sure, maximum loss bonus is there. That means you get $3,400 per player. Without that bomb going down map, the money dries up eventually. You have to take something, and it looks like a partial buy will be coming through. We'll have a look at the scoreboard while we have this pause. Tabs in 0 and 6. That's not good news at all. We need him fired up. We need him ready. No one really fragging at all on the big side. The highest they've got is next in Lagear on 3 frags. Keeve 1 for 6 is the AWP as well. Steel on 9. KNG and Lucas not far behind. So good to just check in and see what's going on. Another partial buy here for the big side. PG50's Tech 9s, UMP as well. Smoke's available. They have been flirting with the set pieces, but shut down. They push through the smokes, and Mortal's not allowing them to have as much control as they used to having, perhaps.
.250 quick toward the underpass, but you're right, there's no control for Big. We see so much tactical prowess. 2 for 1. Henny steps wide. And they'll line up and he'll walk away now with 5 kills to his name.
Yeah,
New mouse is certainly working.
Yeah, it seems to be. He's getting fired up now. This is going to help him out a lot. Good early performances, and this round looks like he's done already. 5-on-2 as quick as that, making a 5-on-1. The gear gets one back in return, but that's all he'll get. Lucas finds him. AK-47 shot to finish things off there. 4 players surviving for Immortals, and 2 for Henny once again. The collateral as he holds towards Banana. That's going to find him some confidence now. Hopefully he can keep that up and keep pushing down. Pretty simple shot for someone like him, but it's always nice when you get a double kill. It's quite rare to see that these days, and there it is. Round number 8 coming through, and big
little yawn, maybe? Oh, I thought he was going to go for the full yawn.
The full yawn. Well, it's good you're here for the real analysis, man.
Thank you. It's all about psychology.
Yeah.
Certainly looking sleepy at the start. Henry seems somewhere that's going with it.
Yeah.
Lucas is looking aggressive, and this I think is going to be the name of the game for Immortals. I think it's all about aggression. They don't want Big the chance to set up. Too many teams have given them leeway. Oh, the flash! They don't realize it. Like he just barely backs up and finds an angle. Almost kissed as Bolts goes back toward the library, but the books are overdue. He is not going to pay a late charge. Keith will still get a bomb plant. 9 HP. Legia has 7. Henny has 3 kills to find.
I don't think this is worth it. He's too far removed from the situation. He's in second middle right now. You know, with the tech 9 now, he's got the cool, the low HP, but I don't think he can win the round here. Just trying to cause any further economical damage towards the big side. This will be the first round for them. And aggressive stuff from Immortals, I don't mind that at all. They're trying to mix things up just as big. They're getting comfortable and working out how they're going to adjust. You throw down 3 players on that middle position, trying to get the picks in, but it was a brawl, an absolute brawl. Look at the HP of Big, but they come out on top just about and post their first round here. It's round number 8 going in their favor, 7-1.
Brazil over Germany.
Yeah, it's you couldn't resist it. I couldn't either. Yeah, what's happening?
First time we've got a 7-1 Brazil over Germany in a while.
Yeah.
Real deal. We've done lots of 7-1s where people still bring it up, but this time it directly relates.
Yeah. Well then. Double up setup. We said it was a possibility, man. I'm excited for it as well. The way KNG was playing on Cobblestone, I feel like he could do a lot of damage here. But as you said, Keith on this map throughout the tournament has taken some huge names down. Fallen, Alu is considered one of the best AWPers on Inferno. He went toe-to-toe with him and managed to come out as the victor. We'll see if he can recover now. He's having a very quiet game so far. Keith, 2 kills, 7 deaths, taps, and that's the biggest problem, 0 and 8.
Song lands a tree, double nades as well. They're trying to find that early damage they received on the last map. Missed shot from Henny, peculiar enough, as they walk toward the top of T stairs. They'll note the AWP is therefore toward B and try and push it back. That nade could land. And he's down to 41, but Copy does get tagged. Crossfire set. When do they go for the smoke set play? Clear the sandbags, this could be it, because they are lining up for execution after covering off the top of Banana itself.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, Legia, a bit of team damage there towards God B. It's fine, though. They're sending up one of their classic executions. It's the one you want, Mads. It's in front of the bomb site, going through spawn. Could be. We'll see.
Looks like they have a shallower smoke, so no. They're going to be a straight entry with caskets, but in the open, it's Lucas, and now Henny, the double team of the twins inside of B. Henny with a fast shot, not quick enough to catch Legia up close, who grabs the LWP in return. They've still got problems. They're down a man. No flank coming from Banana, but a fast rotation toward the ruins, and no plants, none yet. 30 seconds. Legia's going to have to go for it. Molotov will give him a slight window to do so. If he doesn't take advantage of the window, he just sits still, and KNG's able to walk in. It's going to be a reset after 7-1. Another very good start for Immortals. Remember, they had a 12-3 lead. Big has only posted in the regular 30 rounds, excluding overtime, 4 T-sides so far. That's a bit awkward for Kiev. Unintended jump.
Double up setup working out quite nicely there. Henny with 2 more frags. They keep trying to get towards that B bomb site, but he's ready for it. He was towards new boxes there as well. I assume they Molotov it. I saw him lining one up. It might have been missed slightly, but he shouldn't have that much freedom with those Molotovs deployed. They're very good executed. They don't leave anything open for the CTs really to even have those kind of angles. The idea is you Molotov absolutely everything. They're uncomfortable with to stand in the open, then you can refrag them even if they get the first kill. I'm not sure the Molotov missed or everyone was thrown towards new boxes, but Henny seemed very comfortable there. It'll be round number 10, 8-1. As you said, a full reset here for the German side. A map, the only map they've really played in this tournament so far. Their 4th showing here on Cobblestone. They've played, on Inferno. They played Cobblestone once in the previous one, but looking that confident right now. Immortals on the other hand looking fantastic. Mixture of aggression and finding decent map control on the CT side. Especially Henny looking much better.
Much better. He sits with 7 kills. Lucas, who's been playing the site with him, has 11. Double up setup. Steal with it. I assume it's spawn. Yeah, it is. He's got the perfect spawn to go toward mid. So look for another fast shot. Immortals. They are not giving Big space. I don't think Big really has much to work with anyway this round.
He said it's a reset. And that's reflected right now of the buy of Big. PT50s, Tech 9s, no armor. Little in terms of the utility. A couple of smokes and still, you called it. Manages to get that first pick, takes down Kiev. And that's all he needs to do. He's actually got vision as to what sort of weaponry he's got. And he's taken down, called as a pistol play, fall back to the crossfires established. And wait for Big to make the next moves. Pretty textbook stuff. Go for the hunt of the information to start. Use AWP. Get the man advantage, fall back.
Coming for Bolts and Lucas on rotation once more. Models the passive play after the early aggression. To need to slow Big's chances of getting execution. Random from the Tech 9 as they push through, but KNG, he's still well positioned on the second op. Take that back, it's actually the same op. It's the first op that was thrown back over to him after Steele got the first pick. So third player to wield one in the round, second player to get a kill with it. Steele back on the M4, his third kill as he gets down 2, and Lucas again on rotation inside of A. Johnny on the spot will get yet another kill.
9-1. Big just can't get going here, but that was another eco round for them. Still fine, very early days. It looks like a huge one-sided score, but you have to remember this is the CT side of Inferno. If you just get 3-4 rounds, you're fine, and they have already shown us that as well. You know, their performance on Cobblestone, managing to lose the first half 12-3 and bouncing back, winning the game in overtime as well. They could have closed it out before that. They had match point first. It was the Pistols or Immortals to take them to overtime. 3 UMPs now. AKs are still not established, man. They're still struggling. A harsh reset. The first round they posted hasn't got them in a decent position here. And Immortals with a double orb setup. Nothing really up against them in that respect. Lucas, he's on the orb, interesting enough. They swap over. He must have had a decent spawn. Back towards Henny now. And it will be Steele holding the bomb site with KNG spotting the top of the middle.
Incendiary out. Throwing smoke. Throwing smoke.
Lucas is already on his horse. Deep execution. Trying to force Henny back. Blinded by a high flash inside of smoke. Fast play this time. But only fastest to get position, or do they go all the way through? It certainly will. Flash inside of smoke. Lucas knows they're there, but has to back away. Fires those all his ammo. It's on to Henny, who's being lit behind the new box, but he's certainly been on fire as he tries to go for more, though. Kevin next finally solved it. They get both players down. They'll get a plant with a man advantage. As the retake wraps from A.
Yeah, Big here upgrading to AWP as well. They've got a battle towards the roof there. KNG doesn't hit the shot. That was the chance. But still, he's lighting them up. 3 kills come out of nowhere. He's up the next now with the UMP. Doing a good job. Damage inflicted. Can't find the final frag. The defuse will come in. It was a decent attempt there. But Steele and Bolts delivering another fantastic performance there, and double digits have been achieved.
When the clutches like that are not going your way, you're certainly having trouble. They had bombed down. KNG missed a shot toward Ruin, and Steele capitalized on it.
Yeah.
They actually popped out to find 2 immediate frags. They therefore had the information. The third was toward Emo, and they took advantage completely. 10-1.
This was the problem on Cobblestone. They were doing everything right in terms of getting the bomb down, getting the players into the bomb site, but falling apart with really massive. You can see the coach now, head in hands, and now the Brazilian's getting fired up. KNG's enjoying himself. It's round number 12, double orb setup still rolling, and we're going to have Tech 9s, PT50s once again. Only got 38 lost players, but Tapton trying to get stuck in, can't find anything just yet. He's still on 0 kills. It's a pretty easy spray down for them. Got to be the final player remaining. Man, that's a huge deal. Tapton, 0-12.
That's ridiculous.
Hey!
And we've got another night. Steele pays them back. 11-1. Thank you very much. Have that on a platter. 11-1, and you're right, Tabson, best player arguably in the server based on stats and how things have gone lately, has no kills, not 1.
Yeah, what a gutting way that would be to drop the second map. Your best player, your superstar almost, unable to find a single kill. Still, insults to injury there.
KNG's now taunting.
Yeah, he's like, yep, stop that. Zach tells him, like, calm down, you haven't won the game yet. Let's not embarrass ourselves here. But still, you like to see that. Getting fired up.
I like that they face each other for this reason.
Great,
get some fire back. We'll talk about it. The taunting is kind of not existent. I guess the 360 stage is a way to make it work.
Throwing smoke.
Immortals, what a turnaround. Double up setup again, and he doesn't quite make the jump to the top of the half wall. Goes forward of it anyway, confidence as ever, especially when you're rolling like this. He may just walk down, he's already scoped in, he can just walk out with the AWP behind them. Depends on the speed by which they disappear from the top of the middle, not fast enough. Gets Keeve, he gets next, they have no idea, and they just walk into a trap.
Yeah, it's just not good enough once again from Big. 1 round posted and Force Fire's not working out for them. They've taken ecos, they've had enough in many rounds to actually go for their executions. They're getting the bomb down just about, but the clutches just aren't working out for them. In this round, they didn't even arrive into Immortals. Great pincer, coming down Banana as well. Big, slow plays, methodical stuff towards middle, getting ready for the final commitment. Backstab coming in, finding kills the AWP and the M4A4s. And another tactical timeout. 3 out of 4 used so far. They're desperately trying to get back into this game, but it's not looking great. Currently maximum loss bonus, and it looks like they're investing into this round. Not fully, okay, so Tech9's armor got B, gets out the UMP, and Immortals showing up dramatically, or maybe a lack of Big on the server. This is not the team we saw in the group stages of this Swiss format. 3-0 for them, all on Inferno. Their T-sides were probably the best thing about them. They looked fantastic in terms of the executions, picking apart their opposition, and still tabseN 0-13. This has to be rectified.
What a shocking event. I mean, 4-0 now in this event. 3 maps, or at least 3 times they've played this map Inferno and gone unbeaten against the best teams in the world. I think maybe Jason's right, the impetuous style from Immortals is catching them off. They aren't even looking like they have any clue what to do for execution. We know that's not the case. Why has none of that come out yet? Why have we not seen the creative smokes?
I think they're a little bit scared to do it at this point. They know that the intel's out there. They were a team on the cusp of Tier 2/Tier 1, and now everyone knows what they're playing. They hit their commitment towards the A-bombs. Like, can they find anything here? There's an opening. They're still looking to shut them down. It's going to be equal so far, but they have the man advantage now.
The new steal was in Graveyard. They can be fortunate he runs out of ammunition because they'll finally get a second round on the board. It's taken that long. Round 15 we head into. It's 12-2, and perhaps you're right. Maybe the needle has worn the groove too deep because they've not gone back to any of the repetitive plays that were so uncharacteristic of the top teams. So new, crafty from Godby.
We'll see what happens here as we go further and further into the first half. It's round number 15, man. 2 rounds for Big. It's better. Something to work with. They got 12-3 in the first half. The commitment towards the apartments finds the number 2. Still not enough though. 13-2 just won't cut at this point. Even though, to be fair, I said that of course at a 12-3, but it feels like this one that is not arriving. And tabseN gets his first kill. There we go. Going to work with. The crowd are enjoying it towards the boiler room. It's 1 kill, but yeah, let's get fired up.
Well, he's gone down, so he gets only the 1, but yes, it fires up the German fan club. Boltz is still alive in this despite being very low on HP. He's down to 5. And he's next, though. It's Godby and Keeve. Only Godby's at the top middle. G doesn't quite spot him from behind the pillar, so it's given him a chance for the opening. More so because Boltz is trying to anchor the pin with so little life. It doesn't even matter. He's got lots of life left for the fight. 13-2. Immortals shut them down once more.
Typical stuff from Immortals adds a perfect CT half. A mixture of calculated aggression, great warping from Henny. Seems to have bounced back from that awful performance from Cobblestone. The duo between him and Lucas as well is looking fantastic there. When he falls back, when he has to go into the crossfires, they're locking them down. And Big, to be fair, their executions at default are working. They're getting in the side. The bomb's going down. They're just not closing games out in terms of the clutches aren't coming in their favor. They're coming very close every time. It's unlucky in that respect, but 2 rounds. And I'll just say this as well, tabseN 1-14, the fact is he gets that 1-15, should correct myself. The fact he gets 1 kill, actually, it's quite a big deal, man. Like, it won't be remembered. Remember the time tabseN went Slayer. He got 1 kill, right? It helps you out in terms of getting to that second half and saying, okay, I've got that out of the way. I can just make sure I can now focus in the second half as we get into it. Much needed pistol around here. Exact same story, really, but even worse as what it was on Cobblestone.
Yeah, get that Berlin wall back. Standing tall, tabseN, there he goes. He's already on the board. Starts it with a good pistol shot on the USP. Here he peeks, gets another as well. No confidence lost for Tapson, but does go down, overextends, perhaps overstayed the welcome as Lucas was ready for the repeat. Not ready for Leguia's repeat. Great shot. Range is winning. But they're only up by 1. Next is on 3. They have to be very careful on how aggressive they want to be because they cannot afford to be tirelessly and trying. Unnecessary dying would cost them dearly. I mean, Leguia, again, is still going to sit out toward Banana because he wants to hold it down. He could bait his teammate in. If they go back toward A solo hold from Kiev. And a solo hold that has Cubby. Is he going to be ready for KNG? Because he's actually looking top middle. He could be caught off right now. This could call for the rotation back the other direction as he comes around the corner and nails it. Thankfully, though, they get the bomb at the exact same time with aggression in Banana.
Yeah, that wasn't ever going to work out for the T side at that point. This should be a big victory. 40 seconds remaining. They've locked down the bomb at Leguia with the smart play. He's actually in second middle here. Could go towards underpass, maybe even a step further and try and backstab KNG as Next tucks himself to the corner, trying to defend that bomb the best he can. Huge problem here for KNG, but still within a chance. Finds his first kill. Next is low. It could all fall apart.
Leguia's too slow for that because he doesn't know that he's already gone down mid, so he does have the bomb, but he's also gone slow himself, not knowing that Leguia is on the flank. He could sort this. No, he's not. He's going to go back toward it. He's going to go right back toward it. Another knife. He's missed it. Oh, no! And I don't know Portuguese and can't read lips, but I would say there's some choice words to protect the big players in that because it's a round they had to win. And it slipped away. 14-2.
Take a pause after that one, perhaps. I don't know. Those are the ones that really kill you. He can hear the sound cue. He's got a knife out. How are you not getting that flag, Leguia, after posting such a sick performance of Cobblestone? That was their chance to get back into it. KNG has been fired up this game. I'll give him that. And it's an embarrassing set of affairs with Leguia. That's a kill he should be getting.
I'm not even sure that was Portuguese seeing it again.
It wasn't. You can't lead risk, can you? Fair enough.
Down at the top of middle for them to slowly play with. Leguia gets 1 kill in this round on the scout. It's the 1 kill he would have wanted in the last round, let's be honest. Next goes back toward top of the alt middle position, but he's bound as well. Map 3 looking more and more likely, but he does get Lucas. Problem is he and Gobby are both in the 20s. Still manages 1 more kill. Bomb's still down. Number 2, but he's got to be absolutely perfect on his peak. Goes back out. Colts is ready. Map point all ready for Immortals.
It is indeed. I don't think the comeback's on at this point. They have to keep force buying, and this could be a very one-sided affair. 15-2. 1 round will do it. See the third map. UMPs, CZs, Desert Eagles. It's not looking too good right now. Leguia had the chance to keep their head above water. That pistol, he played it perfectly. The flank was there. They had no idea it was coming in. Knife out for that T player. Can't find the shot. The USP can be quite a cruel mistress in that respect. He missed the first few shots, especially jumping around. It can be a little bit problematic, but that was a kill that was on a plate.
Absolutely.
That should be taken.
Even though, talk about the headshot potential on a pistol round for the USP. He had time to hit 3 body shots easily. Nades will go in. Slight damage on Leguia, caught in the flames as he retreats. Immortals will slow the pace, and not only could they be the first to beat Big on Inferno, a map that Big has really stepped the game up, and the game up in general in terms of the meta even in some ways. Okay, I take it back as soon as I talk about it. I was going to say they could batter them, but Big with something in this round. 4 versus 2, a minute to work with, but Lucas gets Dex, who's desperate to try and catch him off. Thompson's able to realize he's down at the bottom of the bridge, and they will at least pick up 1 on the CT side.
Well, the journey begins here. 3 players surviving, all upgrading to AK-47s as well. It's going to take 12 rounds in a row just to force overtime. I'm not believing in that just yet. It seems like this one has just completely fallen apart. The map that's been so promising for Big, something they've been working on. They said it's the latest addition to their map pool, and you can see the Immortals have got their number this time. I don't think the comeback will happen, but 1 round at a time. That's all Big need to focus on. Don't look at the top of the scoreboard. Let's see what they can do. We're checking the tabs in as well. He's getting back into it. 5 for 17 now, but is it too little too late?
Again, they go back on to whatever rifles, well, I guess just the 1 for steel, but whatever they can afford. Eager to shut it down. They can afford to be a little aggressive at this point. They've got so much to work with. Good trade from steel. Archway for a rotation and waiting for Legia. Needs to be very careful not to be caught, because if he goes down, all the flash out is well timed. They could push back through CT, cut off rotations as well. He goes back around the corner. Molotov will control the angle. Smoke thrown, he knows they're still there. He'll walk into the flames, and he won G's with a 1 kill. It was almost by design, as he's also forced them back to top mid. Taps him will capitalize.
Yeah.
It was all by design.
It's all fine. 3 players surviving. Now it's time to get somewhere. 15-4. It's going to take a huge comeback here, but if there's a team that'd be believing in themselves, it'd probably be big. I'll take the ego here. There was a bit of a force fight from Morasky there to try and shut it down as quickly as possibly could before the CD economy gets established, but now a chance, well, at least a round to feel comfortable. Big seems to be up against the PG50s, unarmored players as well. 1 flashbang. Normally go to like have a rush B on this one, or you go to the apartment and flash out off the chimney. Looks like it's the former. Straight up rush B. Good grenades coming in as well. We know Big have been great with those. And a spray down a chance for taps into light of the scoreboard.
Oh, it doesn't quite. He got 2. It looked a little awkward. Thankfully, Legia is immediately there, and he'll continue to add his stats. Pistol round may still haunt them. Let's not let him off the hook too easy, but he sits at 16 and 16.
Yeah.
He actually leads the way again for Big, which is quite astonishing that he's the player that showed up in this series. 1-0 as well, if you're just joining us. Big had to come back on Cobblestone versus Immortals. This was another game in which Immortals had a massive start.
Absolutely. Well, 10 now. The deficit starting to shrink. Aggressive stuff from Legia, pushing through the smoke as well. It's going to be Tabs and taken down through the smoke, through the wall. Legia fighting back as he finds KNG as well. We know he's a good Inferno sniper. It's 4-4 for now. Legia through the smoke though finds a headshot on Henny, and they keep the lead.
Toward the top of Banana. Legia is forward enough of it that he doesn't take as much damage. He'll re-smoke himself into position. He's getting very aggressive. Jump as well. They're going to hear that. He's got to change his angle. Good damage through. Jump shot. Legia. Slam dunk as he goes back down. He's caught out trying to reload. That brings Steel in, but Nex has gotten into a better and more tradable position. He'll easily follow it up and take out Lucas as well. 6 rounds now for Big.
Seems to be working out for them. More aggressive that time. Legia, after the blunder in the pistol round, managing to find 2 strong frags there. Tabs got taken down through the smoke. I thought that was it. He would be done here on Inferno, but fighting back. They're not going down. Well, at least giving us a few rounds. There's the shot through the smoke, and Tabson really not having a good time there. Everything is possibly going wrong. It's actually happening right now. Legia, though, getting fired up again. He's still sort of believing, and you don't quite find it that convincing just yet. But that was something. He's getting into it now.
It's hard to do that and be that emotionally attached and have to go against you.
Yeah.
Keith, good start, finds Lucas. So again, they have the early advantage against the Pistols.
Throwing smoke. Grenade out.
Shots to smoke from Tapson as they will group inside of middle. Bomb goes toward apartments. And as of right now, there's not the most fortified setup toward the A site. In specific, not only that, KNG taking down Legia is going to open up some space to thin out the defense. Daring thought. Tecton could easily overwhelm the rifle from that range with speed, and not to mention the movement mechanics.
Definitely. It's Keeb, he's low HP as well. That radar flashback comes in. Keeb is first.
Keeb goes down though because he's low HP left to the open, dropping in. That's exactly what the Pistols can do. As they get over the railing, Galbi follows suit. But it's KNG that actually got his aim set first upon landing, and that means bombs planted. Immortals. All they have to do is hold off Nex and Tapson, and they'll take the map. KNG might roast alive in pit. He's forced back. Nex gets Henny. KNG gets Nex. Trade goes back. Tapson's in the open. It's all one to him, and it's one bullet. One bullet from Tapson that keeps them alive.
Thought it was done. The P250 of the apartment somehow finds 2 frags. Keeb was low, sure. But how did he find the second in the pit? They have great rifles, AWPs, and Tapson. He's got something left in the tank, it seems there. A lovely shot of the USB to finish things off. And we still have a game on our hands. Here's the replay. KNG, how's he done that? God be. Wondering what in God's name just happened to him. And it's Tapson, though. This shot especially. He jumps up on the barrel, manages to take down KNG. Double AWP set up on the T side for Immortals. It's pretty out there, not a common strategy. We normally talk about 1 AWP being questionable on the T side of Inferno. Now there's 2. I'd like to see where this is going. I guess it's like the Hail Mary play to try and finish this game off.
Grenade.
Watch out, Kiev ready, goes back in, wins the exchange. Don't hold your breath, Immortals. Might be holding it a while at this rate. Flames at the feet, KNG oversteps ever so slightly. Now, I don't know if anyone was close enough, to be fair. I don't think Tabson would have heard that. But he has set the AWP now from Arch side. And M4 goes back out and peeks it as well. Take it back, excuse me, it's next. I thought it was Key that actually rotated over. It's not. He's still sitting toward B. And they'll go for the new box boost inside of B. So no more banana aggression.
An advantage. Kiev hits the first shot once again, but Lucas, he's striking back. Precise headshot to got B.
Smoke in front of the box, Snex burns Lucas. They want to wrap around still with rifles, but no time to get the plant if they can't find the openers inside the site. Taps him down. Good play from Nex as he sits on the box, bombs in front of him. Steal from high on the balcony, looks down upon and says that's enough. I'll take back the position. KNG to get the bomb. Oh, and the AWP. Ooh, Hidson's not done. He does clip Steal through the wall. You can see the bullet hole. Watch a quick peek from KNG. Post plant slides in. He's gone in the site, not down toward quad. They've got to read it. They've got to find it. They've not. KNG, he could go back out directly into Legia. Steal does it instead as he gets pulled toward them. And Immortals win map 2. The first 2 defeats big on Inferno.
It's a very good point, Matt. been uninspired. It looks like they've maybe some sort of mind game going on. They feel like they know Immortals seem to know what they're doing and how to shut it down. Is that the problem for them? They can't really get into this one. Haven't really seen much in terms of the clutches either. It's all just been a one-sided affair. Did very good on the CT half, but that 13-2 first and Inferno, difficult to bounce back from that, especially that pistol blunder.
Yeah, that is the thing. There was a real chance that they could have bounced back.
Yeah.
That was mandatory, and they failed to achieve it. We're going to get underway on train. Immortals starting CT side, Big starting T. They've started T in all 3 maps. They chose to do so on Cobblestone. Obviously, therefore, Immortals chose to start CT on Inferno. This one, I believe, was knifed. But either way, it's TTT for Big, which has been all of their issues.
Well, 3 sets of armor coming in, Molotovs and smokes as well. Most teams favor the inside area. We'll see if that rings true here in the 3rd and final map. Whoever wins this one is indeed going to the semi-finals. Whereas that sadly does go home.
Never seen so many decoys spread out so vastly across the map.
That's true, it's 4 of them out there.
It was more than that. There was, I think, 6 at one point. There's 2 below Heaven, 1 at E-Box, 1 at the backtracks, and 1 at B. I guess that's 5. But who's counting? Were you?
You are.
Okay.
Apparently.
I don't know how to count. Tabson, meanwhile, wants to go in toward upper. Henny is just below on the ladder, below the ladder, if you will, at the spools. The spools, by which he goes undetected, is able to pop out, take down 2, including the bomb. Tabson gets the shot to bolts, but KNG responds. Immortals looking to start off this map just like they did the last 2. The early pistol win. He will do what he can against Hort, wrapping in, shot down, and he gets the kill, gets the win for Immortals, and without the crowd here, they don't care. They're still going to get aggressive as he yells across the booths.
Yeah, the mind games have been real. It's been really exciting for you to actually see that. You got to see your opponents, to stand up and watch them try and avoid eye contact with you when you're celebrating like that. Can be quite a satisfying thing to do. Immortals definitely getting stuck in. It's nice to see it. It reminds me of my playing days, and he didn't have any booths, so they just literally sat opposite each other. And that's what Counter-Strike's really about. I actually think it's a nice addition. Round number 2, and Deagles forced by head generally from Big. 80-50s Deagles, 1 smoke, flashbang, no bomb in the previous round. Immortals completely ran away with that one. Looking like a better unit overall. I have to agree with you on that one. And he easily gets headshot through the corner of the wall there. That was our top dog. He'll be trying to bounce back though. See if he can get the 1 dig. Apparently cannot. Steal and Bolts chime in first with the first 2 frags.
By the way, Big losing on the last map means Gambit is the only remaining undefeated team in the event. No team has ever won a major undefeated.
Yes, that's
in any case. Virtus Pro denied SK doing so on 2 separate occasions, both in Columbus and at the E-League major. Tabson, meanwhile, with bomb, last alive in this particular round for Big. Not really any chance they had with the pistols. He does have armor to Deagle, but they've got guns aplenty, and the guns will find the kills. Henny gets his 4th kill overall, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 5th at this point.
Looking very comfortable there. No plan once again, I have to say. It's 2-0, and with that double orb setup ever looming, you feel like Immortals are the favourites going into this one, especially with the form Henny was showing on Inferno. M4A4s, some SMGs as well, Steel with the FAMAS. Not really much they can do about the situation. Let's upgrade a few more of those pistols. Certainly can't force into the round. Objective purely to try and get that bomb down. It's very unlikely Keeve can do anything with that Deagle. It's interesting he buys that, considering it's the AWP as well. That's $700 for that pistol, and it's not exactly going to win you around. He invests in it, limits himself. And we're going to round number 3 here. Unless he finds a kill, he cannot buy the AWP. Just to note that.
Bolt's already pushing toward upper. 2 quick kills on the SMG, but we've got number 5. Tabson sneaks in behind him after jumping around the stairs and walks in behind. It's KNG that gets the response on Keeve. So it's a 4 versus 2, but add it to the total. That's empty.
5 knife rounds in a series. I've never heard anything like it. Madness.
Who brings a gun to a knife fight?
Well, exactly. Only 1 frag. That's with the knife, apparently. We did say Keeve had to find a frag to get the AWP. That did not happen. The bomb did not go down either. But Tabson, with the knife kill, $1,500, he can now drop the AWP. That's an option. So that actually helped them out quite tremendously, I have to say. And he can drop an AWP and buy himself armor. But he dropped an AK-47. Doesn't opt for it, though. 4 AK-47s for the gear. Down to the UMP. It's Tamsin who completely dropped off in Inferno map. He's supposed to be the superstar of this team, one of the upcoming talents we have. In terms of mechanical skill, he's up there at the very best and just completely disappeared on Inferno. But we can arrive now. There's still plenty of time. Going into the first gun round here. The orbs on the back of Henny, looking towards lower ramp right now. He's baiting in bolts towards upper as well. We know Big are a tactical team and love the executes, but haven't been winning any clutches. The bombs been going down, just can't convert those into victories.
Henny and bolts at perfect position in the crossfire, and Henny not at the corner. It's down below the ramp. Boost steel all the way on top of the train. That will be a perfect position to deny plants inside of smoke. Not that there is any down just yet. There are 3 available for Big. So they could go for a smoke execution. A little bit more difficult to get as aggressive as they did on Inferno to get in their face on this map. So rather than doing so, they anticipate what the play will be and position accordingly.
Time ticking away. Still with 4 smokes and Molotovs aplenty. Final commitment comes in, that bomb needs to go down. If it does not, they're going to struggle here. It must have been a misthrown smoke, because when the final commitment comes in, it's still in a perfect position here.
There they go. He's still there. He's still on high. He can't move too soon because they'll see him in turn, which next does. So he does not deny the plants straight away as KNG goes back in from the back tracks. He might get caught by Henny, who missed a clean and wide open shot that gives Tabs in the kill onto KNG. Lucas turns to try and make up for his brother's amends, but it's all of a sudden Kiev that gets the kill onto him, and round over. Modals back off. We go 3-1. Big in the first gun round, able to pick it up quite cleanly. I shouldn't say too cleanly. They're 5 alive, but only just.
Yeah, still in that perfect position. But when you get flashed 3 times and you're stood in the open, sure, it's a nice place to be, but I felt like when the third flash comes through, you might have outstayed your welcome. And if he just dropped down and held on the bomb site, better chance of getting a kill, but 0 chance of the amount of times he's getting flashed there. So it looks like a very nice idea, but nice execution generally from Big. Very slow. We did see that being a problem on Cobblestone, especially that slow-paced gameplay. As soon as they went for the final commitment, as that bomb dropped, they just couldn't get the plant in. This time, though, they managed to negate that possibility. We're going to round number 5. Double orb setups out, Matt. This is where things get interesting. KNG, one of the best performances I've seen from him on Cobblestone. 12-3 in the first half, 28 kills to finish things off, but can he find that form once again on train? Key for the AWP as well. And now we're really getting into it. Big round here.
Smokes in front of E-Box and at Sandwich. Steel won't be able to do much with it. Bolts again goes to the high ground with Henny low, so they haven't been able to get him to the corner quick enough on the AWP. KNG's AWP is very aggressive, I will say. However, Kiev was at the ready with his in return. He's gotten down Pop Dog. Steel is in a perfect position to take advantage of utility with the flashes. Brilliantly timed. He goes back up to be able to push around behind the safety. In fact, he runs through the flames. Still manages to get a kill. He may get more than that as he swaps to the AK. No reload required. Time in his favor as a result of it. They're still searching. They're still trying to go above. He spotted Gobby going up. Gobby still shoots down. It's just Henny remaining.
Great attempt there by Steel, but only gets 1 kill in total. It's up to Henny now. 3 versus 1 situation. The bomb goes down. Can find this first kill. Only guaranteed. It's the barrel. Misses the shot somehow.
Wow.
Bit of an anti-climax, but certainly had the chance for that. I think he thought he was guaranteed. It was a lock-in. This looks away. I thought it was.
Straight under his armpit, I guess.
Must have been.
Might be the sweatiest armpits up next to mine after that.
I'm not sure that's possible, but yes. It's getting there. Yours is something else.
Thank you.
You still smell lovely, though.
That's a lie. I never smell lovely.
3-2. It's going to have to be an eco for Morkers now. 2 rounds in a row for the big side. Looking like they're getting more comfortable. They've been struggling on these T sides. And then some. P250s and no armor. Apart from bolts, I tell a lie. As he has a Deagle and the Kevlar.
And he jumps over to blue. Wants to get closer on the P250. But finally they go over toward B. Bolts pushed back. Everyone in the brown halls, with the acceptance of Kiev, who waits for a flank and then joins in. I think he threw a Molotov down if I'm not mistaken, but either way, toward B they go. Flash through, taps and goes wide. He's going to go long down the sidewalk. So in fact, Mugabe, which means Bullets, is still on the site, and no one challenging will eventually get taken down. Good shot through smoke by Lucky Luke. Says no. And as he walks back in, he's able to swing around from yellow to the tanker and catch Steel pushing. Any flank attacks thwarted. No HP for Kiev and Gabi, but round goes to Big. We tie things up at 3, and T-side's looking better on this map.
Yeah, 3 in a row after losing the pistol as well. They're starting to bounce back, it seems. The T-sides has been pretty horrendous with the Big 7 now. They're actually getting plenty of money to work with. Kiev, the AWP, this is great news. Got $9,000. And the double AWP setup hasn't been that deadly, I have to say. I thought that was going to be the downfall of Big going into training at Immortals and on the CT side as well. But KNG hasn't really delivered anything too special. Same story for Henny. They're both on 4 frags apiece, and the gun rounds looking quite nice. I guess if you think about it, Train is a map that suddenly suits Big. You don't need that much in terms of map control. You're just pushing the cities back as much as you can, denying them information, going for a full execution. That's what they're very good at. And we go towards Pop Dog once again. It's Kiev trying to open things up, but Henny's on the other side. Needs to be very careful of his commitment here.
As many rounds already. And a T-side that Big has achieved. In any opening half, they only got 5 over their 30 T-sided attempts previously, excluding the overtime, obviously, in the first game. Window there for Tabson to look through with the smoke down. He's trying to get boosted above it to see at least toward the trains. The tops of them, in fact. Oh, getting so close to the smoke. As it fades, he sprays in. That gives Gabi the position, or at least the awareness of where it is, and sprays back with the AKKNG. Meanwhile, Top Blue could try and push wide and get a similar peek toward Pop Dog, but he's worried, in fact, that he will get countered off from the main, which is the right thought. He's not wrong in assuming, and he finds Kiev. Now he'll swing with that whole attention back. He still made it work. He made it all 3. Just barely gets taken down by Next. Bomb was planted, but for once, the Immortals have the advantage, and Bolts is adding to it by taking down the 2 remaining Big players.
Bit of a brawler around that, but the bomb does get planted for Big. The execution was decent, but it's up to KNG, who's scrapping on the front lines with his teammate Bolts as well. It's Henny gets 1 key frag, buys some time there, and they keep 3 players alive and upgrade once again to that double AWP setup. They take the lead. It's 4-3. Big with a solid game plan here, and this was similar scenes to what we saw in Inferno. The bomb going up plenty of times, and then the clutches, the big names of Immortals stepping up. But Big is having a better half this time, 3 in a row. Isn't going to reset them and everything. They still have money even if they lost this round to reinvest. Next isn't looking too happy.
Neither was Kakafua. Kakafui? I never say his name right.
I'm not going to attempt it. I just say the coach.
The coach.
Yeah.
Couple of fists thrown. They know how much it means to them to get academic control. Something they've not had on a T-side. Kiev will certainly start by helping in this round, taking down KNG. Henny still has his off meanwhile. And it's in Z Connector, so closer to the A site this time. But they can slow the pace Big because they've controlled it early.
Yeah, I like that from Kiev. Great shots, opening things up. Nothing the CTs can do now but sit and wait. Train's a difficult map to reclaim at map control. Your options, push towards main entrance with a flashbang, but very passive hold from Big. They're waiting for that to come in. They're welcoming him. They want you to try and react and try and get a kill as they hold up. Still in T-spawn 2 players. Lagia investigating towards inside. CT's not really changing too much up. It's Bolts who's alone inside, just holding the incendiary, trying to get intel for his team. He doesn't want to fully commit, wants to try and delay the plant as long as possible. Outside execution will come in momentarily. Could go back towards inner if they wanted to from Pop Dog.
Ooh, Godby's got to get out. Somehow one of the ticks didn't hit. He must have had a small gap he found. At least the sound wasn't made. I didn't catch if the damage was consistent. Certainly seems to not apply as he goes out and Steel finds him anyway. Bombs attempted to be planted inside of the smoke. I think it will be. Henny's actually got the angle wrong. He's not quite on the back of the train where he expected the Bolts. As the kill immediately after onto Tapson, which again puts them in a favorable post plant. Look at Legia. This could be massive for Legia. He's got to start walking exactly, I was about to say about now, because they could still hear him from Z Connector.
Yeah.
All his teammates have to do is contain. Contain is the name of the game, because Legia is going to walk in and take, well, his time. They're already on the diffuser. He's got to go now. Finds one. Looks toward the hit. Sprays it down. They're still on the diffuser. They've got to get off it. Oh, they let it go. 5 seconds. It was close. He's got a knife, but he's high. He's high. He's not going to find it. Immortals get the defuse to find round 5.
How has that happened? Oh, Legia seemed like he done everything perfectly there. You spotted it. The flank was on point. The timing was perfect. He gets in connector, finds 2 frags, but the full defuse eludes him. Oh dear. And that's similar to scenes we saw earlier in this series as well. Everything's perfect up until that point. It's looking so good. The plant's down. Equal situation. The gear's coming in. And he was looking for the 6th knife of this series. Doesn't happen though. Can't find it. Full defuse comes in.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, he's so close. So close and can't get the defuse.
Oh. Okay, not as upset as I thought.
Every round is starting to matter so much for Big. First time both of these teams have been legends. They both want, obviously, into the semifinal, but it's Immortals leading 5-3, map 3. Tamsin this time, by the way, sits 4-7, so not anything miraculous, but he's in the mix.
We shall see. It was a decent round for Immortals, but too close for us means they do go down to a Bolts UMP here. He plays the anchor site towards B. Henny backing him up there, very common position for the Orcas towards the upper ramp of the Brown Halls. But Molotov'd off. Tries to stick around for any sort of commitment from the T side, but just takes quite a lot of damage there. He goes back. Terrorist side now setting up once again. They're focusing primarily towards outside. I don't think they've been towards it at all, apart from that flank from Legia. Just trying to get that bomb down time and time again, which is working perfectly. Immortals having a rough time defending the execution. KNG though, he has been battling with the M4A4. Steel to go down first as Gobby opens things up once again.
At the lead, he's trying to stand the ladder. Ooh, and makes it work as well with movement to avoid the flames as he jumps backwards. He catches off next, but thankfully for him, Gobby is immediately on the scene. Bomb still planted. And the AWP watches toward it from the old bomb alley. The round looks to go to Big. And money's tight. It's dire on both sides. So that's going to be a save call immediately from Immortals. And I see... Oh, it's only on my screen, so maybe I'm glitched. I thought I saw a timeout call coming in for the next round, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's true or not. I hold my tongue.
I don't think it's been called.
Okay, so I'm glitched.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's not going to my personal life too much.
4-2 now. It's going to be Immortals with the AWP. Bomb is pulled off, and he's doing what he can to hold on to it, but he's being hunted down by Bolts. There's the second spot, and we'll do what he can as Legia. Oh, and Tamsin chimes in. The AWP does get dropped. Okay, then. It's pretty harsh reset for the CT side. 5-4. Big managed to go outside once again. The slow, methodical playstyle. That's it. I really do think it suits them as a team, this map. I feel like it should work out, right? They love smoke grenades, the Molotovs, the flashbangs working as a unit, and it's got B to find the first few flags here as well. He really has shown some decent form in the last month or so. See if we continue here. Almost a guaranteed round for Big. I said that with bated breath. Nothing really is guaranteed in this game. As the analysts were talking about, the pistols. Bit of a nuisance sometimes, but this time Keeve towards the main entrance. Pins heading to the wall, 5-on-4, just like that.
Good shot to start it off. Haven't seen the boost yet until look back toward the Ivy position. Ivy, by the way, I was about to say, hasn't been as much of a factor in this game as what we normally see on Train. Lucas has even pushed it this round undetected. It's not been a point of contention. It seems like a lot of the early rounds when we are concentrating when we're observing it, it's 10, 15 seconds of Ivy control.
No, absolutely, you're right. Well, this is just Big, just saying, do the same tactic over and over again. This outside execution's working for them. Bleed out the CT utility at the very start, hold up, show a little bit of presence towards inside so the AWP can't be established at Brown Hills. Once he's gone, back to the outside setup, deploy the smokes. Managing to find opening kills. Players like God B, once the bomb's planted, they're operating very efficiently. This round, nothing to be excited about. It's up against just pistols here. It was key. Very good spawn. Went towards main entrance and took down the play crossing over the top road. Keep all five alive. That's great news. And after that, Kiev's only got 4 kills, but he has got $12,000. He has got that working in his favour. Try number 11 now. We're all tied up once again. 5-5. This time, much better, I have to say, for Big. T-sides have been poor, and it has to be another eco for Immortals. Finding themselves in financial ruin, it seems. HE grenades being purchased, very common strategy on the CD-sided train. You throw those HE grenades towards main entrance. Bit of an airstrike, especially in players like Kiev are trying to get that first pick, trying to take him out of the equation very early on. If you get to the orb, you can somehow recover it. That could be something quite interesting. It's Steel and Co to go throw their grenades. They do go in, but nothing really inflicted at all. There it is, a bit of damage to Tabson.
Kiev walks back through. The AWP low pop tug. He's been entering from that position on a few occasions. It's not often you'll see an AWP take that angle. It's aggressive, it's tight, it's narrow, and it's a hard choke point to work from, but he's made it work. He's gotten the pick, and Nex and Tabson capitalize. It's just pistols for Immortals, and as such, there's not really much they're going to be able to do. Big's going to take a lead 6-5. Weird to say this, considering how the group stages went, but the first lead they're going to have on a T-side this whole series. At least once we're into the established money, because of course the first map they did win the eco and get a 3-1, but that's not technical, Henry.
Okay. We try and avoid being technically on it.
Exactly.
Keep it light.
It's overrated.
Yeah. Well, another eco, nothing really to report back to you in terms of the analysis side of things. But we do get money once again for Immortals into the next round. Got B finds the final frag, 5 players alive. I guess that is quite a big no. Kiev's just hit $16,000, or just shy of it. That's the most you can have in Counter-Strike for anyone. Maybe a new viewer. That's where you want to be, ideally. Kiev, with the most money you possibly can get. Buys a few more grenades, take himself down to 15k. And he buys the orb once again. We haven't had many pauses here. I think this is the first one. It is indeed.
First for Immortals, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think Big has not used one yet either, so...
No, I don't think they have.
I say if this goes to overtime, I'm going to call it now. We have to play with knives only.
Yeah, why not? They seem very well versed with the knife. So, maybe Zeus's?
I knew you were going to say it. It's weird. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we haven't had a taser kill.
We have... I don't think there's major. I don't think we've had a taser kill. Hate to see that.
The whole major? Wow. Yeah. Usually you get at least one cheeky one in there.
Yeah. Please buff.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, let's make the range like, 40 feet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill you, just locks you in position while you flail on the ground. And then
that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
I like it.
Valve's here, Henry.
6-5. Double orb setup going out once again. There is a diffuse kit available, but lack of utility. These orbs, I was excited about it, wasn't I? But it hasn't really delivered so far. It will be KNG getting the majority of frags from the M4A4. Henny, another quiet game, 5-7 for him. Number 12, Big with the lead, looking to extend that, but this time maybe focusing towards inside. This is a different setup. Holding towards the lower ramp, that's bold. He pushes through aggressively, needs to be very careful there. Bullets flying around, and Tabson takes him down. That might be the commitment. If you know how Immortals play, you know they're usually anchoring one player towards that side of the map. That was indeed the case for Henny. He rotates in before any sort of commitment comes through. Big on the sort of team to commit of one kill. Immortals certainly are. They love that. They get one kill, they'll be getting 5-man unit rushing through. Big like to have the mind games in place and wait for the reactions and see if there's any utility, get another read, go for full execution still. Two very different approaches when it comes to Counter-Strike. But for now, it's working very nicely for Big after going 0-3 down. That's 6 gun rounds there, so 35 seconds remaining. I think the inside player for the first time is coming in.
Good shot, Henny, to finally gee up, but they go. Henny with the rotation, remember, it brings it even, and KNG, the second AWP, also in the sight. It's all ops. As Kiev tops onto KNG, it's all next to try and get it followed up. Points come in. Tabson's got himself in a very good position as they work through the smoke, or does he? Because Lucas spots him first, and he makes the follow-up play. It's down to Kiev to hold it off, 1 versus 2. And around where Immortals lost the first pick and the site. No kits or armor. I take back, sorry, there is armor, but no kits on the Immortals players. Part of my screen cut it off, but Kiev's got to be very careful. Time in the back, but they're so close. He's on the AWP as well. Realizes it late that they're close. Good shot, but not fast enough. And ample opportunity for Steel to get the defuse.
Nice play from Immortals. Quite calm. Like we said, time ticking away with no kit there. That'll be a very comfortable defuse. Sticking together. No keeps the author right. As soon as he fires a bullet, that's when you punish him. Silent up until the bomb site itself. They got very close, and Keith knew that was a possibility. He's like, hang on, this isn't right. Why is there no sound? Why are they not coming for me? Checks it out, hits the no-scope. But that's all he can do. Impossible to get the second frag. Decent attempt. It took 4 players down. Or I should say, Big Side did. And they'll keep the Immortals modest here, and even more so. Have a look at this buy. They've lost that double or potential. It's now down to double UMPs. Not as tantalising. A couple of M4s in the mix as well. KNG this time the AWP. We were saying that he needs to be the main AWP. In terms of current form, you need to swallow your pride a little bit and say, look, you're playing better than me right now. Let's see what you've got. He'll be playing towards outside, and big no, they win this round. This could be a landslide half, 9-6. Well, the T-side of train would be fantastic for them. They have no money left, Immortals, to work with. This is huge.
Nex and Gobby down to pop together. Please move, Nex, Gobby. Get out of my way!
It's all very quiet here. This is outside play once again. The first time you've seen him go in, it was the previous round. Didn't work for him. It's probably going to say, you know what? It's not for us. Stick to outside bomb side. That's where the real teams get the rounds won.
It is very quiet here, Henry, you're right.
Yeah, I meant more on the server.
I knew what you meant.
But it is quiet here. It's nice. It's relaxing.
I always wanted a big room this big just to sit in silence.
You've stopped sweating.
It's true. It was all the body heat. We solved it. That's why, actually, they were removed. It was by request of me. Flash getting ready to go through smoke. And he's gotten up reverse side of the box on entry, which is actually a good position with the smoke down. He has to be cautious of aiming. Steel's going to have to relay that information. That's why it's a good position. And he backs off, finds two, but Steel follows. You can't complete the same task, I should say. Lucas with a good shot in return. However, they've got to be careful because they've lost another man going to the side. Next is found. And KNG's AWP does a fantastic shot. Good work. And you said 9-6 could be possible. Well, Immortals have taken back the lead and avoided the reset.
Yeah, that's a much needed round for them on the CT side of train, especially. That would have been a full reset in terms of you'd have to normally double eco, but the closing sector the first half, you have to force around it, almost guaranteeing the bigger 9-6, but shutting it down there.
It's bizarre as well to see a team be up around 16k and not leading the half by a big amount.
Yeah, you're right.
It's 7-6 for Immortals, and all it has to do with is the fact that there was two very close rounds on defuses in a slew of 3 rounds than the 2 defuses, and then another 3 that they were so efficient in.
Yeah, big has certainly been controlling the economy. You have to remember as well, Immortals have got that 3-0 start. Doesn't necessarily carry on to the mid stages of the half. Tactical time enough, a bigger chance for the coach to chime in. Got be to consider his options. Defaults have been great, but it seems like Immortals now playing in front of the smokes and challenging a little bit more actively now. KNG, like we said, seems to be on the main AWP responsibility at this point. Henny has a secondary AWP, but it hasn't been as exciting as I thought it would. Or maybe I built it up too much. I thought it was going to be amazing performances and 6 shots left, right and centre and shutting everyone down, but some of this slow methodical play style from Big, all the smokes used has left them a little bit vulnerable. We're pushing towards Ivy this time. The first real CT aggression coming in, but it's up to Henny to play in front of the fire up a ramp as well. Sticking around, hoping to get something done here.
Molotov again towards Sandwich, most commonly Molotov spot probably in the entire map, as there's enough of a sliver gap beside it for Tatsy to push through, but Bolts is able to control. Could be going 9-6 the other way if we're not careful. Yeah, good response. Again, continues to be a force to be reckoned with in this whole entire series. He sits 11-7, highest on the team again. Bomb planted as KNG is going to rotate around to find a better angle. There's no availability of sight from Old Bomb due to the smokes. Good read from Keith. Great shot up close to catch Lucas on the flank.
3-on-2 now, Keith. Nice shot after KNG and Henny. This double AWP setup on the retake. It's not ideal, I'll tell you that, for KNG. He does find an AK-47 on the floor. He's already legged up next. Finds the kill, converts it quite nicely. Terrorist without any utility, but Keith doesn't care. Second frag of the round, up to Henny with no kit. He surely can't do this. Time ticking away. Has to be defusing now. It's not going to happen. And that's money in the bin once again for Immortals. Rough time there. He will save the NWP, but Keith stepping up. 2 frags as well, just to note, but the CTs just didn't have the kits to work with. Might not survive this. Lex Keith dancing around and getting towards a pop dog. He will just about survive, but he can't drop anything. His teammates desperate for cash as well. Lucas down to $4,000. Looking to win the half is Big and book themselves a place in the semi-finals. Wasn't looking too great at the start, but they've pulled it back. The gear with some nice shots there. That's quite crispy from him.
Crispy.
Yeah, here's the double frag.
He's been looking very, very good, I have to say, in a big game.
Don't punch anything.
Lucas,
Please.
now.
Already had that.
Deploying flashbang.
One mouse between the two of you, that's all that there is left.
Yep.
Don't relive your childhood together.
Laying down smoke. Throwing
Sharing is
flashbang.
caring. AWP though for the Henny, there's his new name, carried over, and the subsequent force around it. Slow play from Big again to start it off, minute 20 as they start to establish a little bit of control using flashes through the window toward the outer site. Down toward B, Gob, named after it, will go. Next. Quick shot toward the wrap around potential to a B hit. It looks to be the case. Tapson's one against Lucas. 3 players coming for the wrap. Not on the entry. Normally you see less players on the wrap itself, but they have to win it against Henny. And the AWP that's saved and carried over has done a massive amount of work because he's going aggressive for the fight, not going for the plant. He's stuck in the open, and they work. Henny completely thwarts the chance for the wrap.
So both times they try to go inside, it gets shut down. It's the AWP. This is the backtrack split.
I don't really on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
Yeah, that's good. Bit of Oasis. No problem there. I like that. Anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Backtracks on towards the inside bomb side there. Yeah, that's normally a really important tactic, and one I don't think we see too much. I'd like to see it coming a lot more, but it was well read by the Immortals guys. All shots close range in CT spawn. Henny shuts them down. So yeah, that's to note. Both chances to go towards that inner bomb site shut down. Big having a lot of success towards outer, but ultimately losing the half here. And we'll get into the second half pistol buy. Both teams going to be okay with that half. Nothing too crazy, but they'll be fine with it. Immortals with 1 smoke, a couple of flashbangs, actually 1 flashbang and a decoy. Pretty similar story for Big as Legia with the kid and flashbangs, and we'll see where he decides to get one or 2 players towards that inside side. But KNG getting aggressive, so is Lucas. They find the first 2 kills. Keep chimes in though.
He needs to step up and be well positioned. If Immortals pick up a second pistol, it's all pressure on the German side as they'll get inches closer to a semi-final. Keeps gone back toward hell position. Legia is still inside Z. Bomb's not committed. Lucas is the one to hold it. And Tapson will have no chance to flank because they're watching Bob Dog. Bolt pointing on Kiev means Tapson has to get to the site now. Legia has a kit but no armor, and he's being chased down effectively as well, and all on the Tapson. We'll put a second bomb drop, but he's stuck in the open. He's got the third, but he didn't have the time. A step further, and he may have been able to find bolts as well.
He's been pretty absent the last couple of maps, but Tapson there with some signs of greatness. That could have been phenomenal. He pulls that round off. Yeah, the Big probably fired up enough to actually just take the game at that point. That would have been so sick. It looked like a very easy round for Immortals until this point. Tapson went 0 and 14 in the first half of Inferno, but they do manage to win the pistol Immortals, and he's not happy, is he?
He's so consistent on pistols, but you can sense the desperation starting to hit now for Big.
Yeah.
Remember how dejected Immortals looked at the start of map 2?
Exactly.
Well, they recovered, and now it's Big that just looks very frustrated. Almost too urgent, which could perhaps bleed into their playstyle if they start to get too frantic.
Well, they will force buy into this second round here, Big, with the Scout, Deagles, CZs. Can certainly work out. It's Legia on the Scout. He's been in Orpha at some points in his career. We'll see whether he can step up with a Scout here. Usually, to be fair, every time I've casted him, he seems to be the dedicated Scout player that is a role. We get to round number 17. AKs, 3 of those. Pretty strong buy for Immortals in that sense. 1 Scout for them as well. It's in the hands of Henny. And there's some wallbang damage trying to come in from Big Gear as he spams up. That doesn't have anything just yet, but getting some confrontation now.
Bolts does win out against next. Great shot, Tapson. Bomb dropped. 49 seconds. He's going to have to be careful because he pursues on to Henny. The rotations are coming back into the site. Kiev still wins against KNG. However, Tapson stayed alive. Somehow he stayed alive. He was saved by Kiev getting KNG on the arrival. Henny thinks about planting the bomb. Tapson wants to get closer as a result. Legia, who's got this down to just Henny remaining. That's one way to steal the Thunder back, and they make it work. Legia with the Scout.
Well, he's called him out, said he could step up with that weapon, gets 2 kills of it, tagging players up left, right and centre. The pistols helping him out as well, but that's a bit of a blunder from Immortals after having such a successful round there. He went in for the 3 AK-47s, which means you have less utility, less smoke, less Molotovs. You have to take the jewels and go up against that scout. Down the lower ramp you can see the gear's got nothing in front of him. Why are the smoke grenades? Why is he not being flashed at this point? There's a shooting gallery, and he has had some very good rounds. Probably the map of his career at the major in the quarterfinal on Cobblestone.
It still means everything this game. The emotions are very, very high. Steele's gone quick. He could actually get a kill here. I don't think they're aware that he's this deep in the site. So he's actually being smart about posting up and holding the angle.
Yeah, good stuff. And it's going to be a fast-paced round. They've already got out of the main entrance. The gear looking to fight back with the UMP. Spot one can't connect the shots just yet, but that one does. Takes Lucas down to 5 HP. But I'm not going to be planted just yet. Key takes down KNG. Got B charging it as well. It's a tie round for him. This is a force buy, but Immortals can't find any frags just yet.
None as of yet. Bolts very low. Oh, we get number, what is that, 6? I can't keep track. Bolts went for it. Honor was there. They knew what they were up to. This is getting personal. 7. We got 7. Tabson gets Bolts. This is out of hand. And look at Tabson. Yeah. I think they're actually joking with each other because he goes to taunt, and I think that the Immortals looked back over and smiled back.
Oh dear.
The first one was like, no, I'm not. You're not knifing me. I'm knifing you. And then Works, watch this. Tabson out of nowhere. He's not even anywhere nearby at this point. He's like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. This is unreal.
7 in 1 series. Keeve really enjoying himself just yet. There's a little panic there, but Tabson, that's the more jovial face. We like that. Getting fired up now. They tie things up at 9-9. Has to be the eco for Immortals. Bigger aware. And they'll be playing with the SMGs. 3 of those out. A couple of AKs as well. Very handy to have those on the CT side for sure. Keeve now doing some shots through the smoke. Taking Steele and Henny down to about 37 HP each.
What a brawl this is becoming. With knives like that, you can tell they absolutely are sending a message. It's not, this isn't even about, obviously it's about winning. You have to boil it down, but there's so much more on the line for these two teams right now. The emotions, the fact that it got dirty real quick. And no knife, of all these ones, more significant than Keeve in overtime, has set the tempo. Tabson dicked up, has to be careful as he holds the corner. They'll drop the bomb early, but now it's got to be to run him behind them. He just runs and guns. And he'll get it done. Tabson's able to find a kill as well on the Deagle as they push beyond. 9-9 and Bolts in a 1 versus 5. Chance to catch off. Godby manages successfully to do so.
Yeah, nothing too exciting. If the Bolts gets 1 kill, that's something. Probably doesn't get the plant here considering the Bolts location. Just trying to bait out that he might have gone down towards Potlog there, but he'll be dealt with by Keeve. Long range with the MP9 takes the kill. Starting to get established now. The CT's probably, I would say in this sort of game, I'm like, screw the money. I'm not taking MP9 through the next round. Or maybe even the UMP, I'd get rid of one of those. I just want to be posting round victories, and Keeve certainly buys the AWP. This is good news for the reasons I just stated. So we'll keep 2 SMGs. The UMPs are fine on train. Lots of close range encounters, but the MP9 had to go for sure. 2 AKs, definitely worthwhile having those up and collecting them from the T's. You can hold more aggressive angles, go for the 1-taps, as opposed to the M4A1. They go to another 20 now, with the lead, 10-9. Orb out, single orb setup, that's in hands of Keeve. They usually run a single orb setup. Lagear can orb as well, but it's quite rare to see them actually run with it at all.
Ooh. Shot in. Keeve nearly hit, down to 15. Just be very careful, all things considered. Oh, it's all back out toward a main flash as well, but Henny's preset and ready. There will be no turning away, no cowering in fear, just a straight shot. A flash of lightning. Keeve on 15 becomes a factor in this as well. Keep in mind on the AWP. Tabson's the only one on the B site. If ever a time to be brilliant. He does lead the way again with 16 kills. He's back up to the top of the leaderboard. Defined by Keeve. He was the lurk. He wanted to go in. 2 players only toward B. Tabson's the first. 2 players only left, I should say. And he's still got position. He's got down Steele. He knows there's a third, but he doesn't know where he's gone, and he's realized with the Molotov in play, he's wrapped around, and Bolts is suddenly left alone. All battles won by Big, and Tapson steps up perfectly in the B site.
Yeah, that's what the power of the AK-47 can do. Close range, one-tapping everyone, finding the shots, good mobility as well from Tapson. As we mentioned, he was on 0 and 14 at one point in Inferno before his series was done. He wouldn't be able to recover, but he's finding form, and he's top fragging once again where he belongs, at the top of the scoreboard for Big. 11-9, has to be another eco now. Lost bonus starting to get there. Fourth stage for now, but that only gets you $2,900. No bomb going down. They'd have to take Deagle's PT-50s and a Tech 9. Steele's got some head armor. He must have a little bit more cash. Actually didn't. There's no real reason to spend an extra $1,000, but he's opted for it. No nades. One set of armor and the bomb in the back of Henny. CT's lying in wait as Immortals get ready to go in now.
Bolts gets found trying to work his way in toward the A site silently. Lucas tries to walk in and catch them all, but Tabson again able to spray down two. Tabson try and push up to get Henny, but he fakes out the bomb plane even with the low HP. Tabson still prevails. Another 3 kills, stretching his lead now, stretching his legs, you could say. 12-9, Big in control.
Certainly are. Looking very good right now. Tabson especially. It's great to see him finding form once again. Immortals have to answer back to this. Closing sectors now of this game. If you're just joining us, you've missed 2 very interesting maps. I was about to say exciting, Inferno potentially not so much, but Cobblestone certainly was. After going down 12-3, Big recovered, taking the game in overtime. Immortals adjusted themselves. And as we went to Inferno, we didn't think they stood a chance. That's the only map Big had really played in this tournament. 3-0, taking down the names of SK Gaming, FaZe, Cloud9, some of the best teams in the world. And no one could touch them on Inferno, but Immortals did it. A clean performance when they won 16-6. Here we are on train. I wasn't sure what to expect. Look, he has enjoyed himself. As we enter this round, double orb set up again, but on the T side. Virtus Pro run this sometimes. A few teams occasionally bring it out. Is this too much?
It's pressure applied early then. Kenji gets to the corner, scopes in. I think, yeah. Tabson heard that, so he says, forget it. I'm not going to challenge. Here's a smoke. Bomb back toward T-spawn, by the way. And we are starting to see some play at Ivy. We have not seen it hardly at all. Lagia in behind the server. Has Lucas and Henny. Pop flash goes light. Henny jumps across on his own afterwards. Lagia's calling it because he heard utility and he's saying, all right, definitely for once we've got a battle here, so give me some help. This Molotov is to bait him in. They want... My next throwing that, like, he is probably the one that actually called for this. He says, throw that behind me so they can't rush through, and then they won't expect me to be in the corner. So this is actually quite clever if it works. He goes wide, he goes early. They missed his shot. He's got a Molotov down deep, and next follows it up. But man, oh man, Henny comes close to death. 14 HP inside the site. Meanwhile, Keeve gets bolts. Kenji can't follow up the double up setup, not paying dividends yet, but they still have the man advantage. Looking for more as well. Tabson sitting behind the bomb train. Bomb's going to go back around though. Henny, he's going to bring it toward A main. So the ball attack for the front side. Missed shot. Keep 1 HP. And still goes aggressive, but can't make it work. Tabson has to be the hero once more.
There was a man to step up. Here he comes. There's one shot, but that's all he's got. Henny takes him down. It could have got problematic there with Henny low HP as well. I thought there was a chance. Time was ticking away. They had no idea as to where he was, but there it is. Immortals pick up their first round in 6. We're going to round number 23. Running off fantastic for the Immortals side. 2 players surviving there. Lose this round. It's 13-10 with a harsh reset as well. The reinvestment's coming through. 4 players at... Okay, 3 players at $0. Kenji's got 1,000. Steel is 3,300. Single orb set up this time. Taps him. Looks like he wants to go aggressive towards inner potentially, yeah. The inside push. I'm loving this idea. Can't get the first frag though. It's a back and forth affair. Copy bringing it back to a 4-4.
4-on-4. 2 rounds separate. Keeve is watching toward Ivy. Lagia. Oh, checks it. Gets the damage in, but doesn't get the kill. which he may be lamenting instead of resting upon his laurels. Over toward Pop Dog, though. He goes back toward A main as they flash out. He's ready for it. He knows the flash means a peek is likely coming. Finds KNG. Has next to hold the alternate angle, and they have no idea. Henny just walks into it. Now Legia can get aggressive. Oh, and thank you very much. Bomb boys. How shall I choose to take down my next target? As he hears Lucas jumping around and over top of the dumpster, he'll be buried inside of it.
Yeah, that's all Immortals can really do with this round. Trying to get the turn, but a nice change of pace there from Big. I'm liking that. The bolts, let's get something here. 45 seconds to work with now. At least the bomb's recoverable. But Nex and Kiev, they patrol the outside bomb side. God B, similar story towards Inner. Bolts of 22 HP. Shouldn't be able to win this. It should be almost impossible. Like, this is like 5% chance of that. He pulled this one off. Got to be able to find him. Easy shot to the nuts. Real problematic now for Immortals. The fact of the matter is, Matt, they win the previous round. Bomb doesn't go down here, and they get $1,400 per player. They're going to have to force into it, I think. Hope for the best. This is pretty much the do or die moment. Lose this, you're 14-10 down, your money's not established, you're done for. It's up to Steel and his AK-47. We saw similar heroic plays from Na'Vi on this very map. The young man called Simple.
Yes, we certainly did. A young man who had a 1.4 rating and didn't make it through the groups. Steel, good start. That's the AK. God B is the one he finds. Flash and taps and has to back away. Can't be as quick to try and capitalize, and he's got to be very careful when he does, because Bolts is much closer than anticipated. And that gives up his rifles. And now not only do they have the AK, they have an M4 picked up, and they're a man down.
No one inside whatsoever. That site is open. Kiev has to rotate in. He's late. He doesn't know. Has anyone slipped through? Have they gone through upper? Maybe made it to the sides already. Are they pushing towards me? It seems quiet, which it is. Legia towards the Pop Dog. He's going to be key in this situation. Next goes to push inside from what I can see. So it's up to Legia now to hold strong at that Pop Dog position. He's patrolling the entire outside bomb site alone. No idea what's coming through CD spawn. Somebody gathering right now.
Just found Henny with the drop down. Tech 9 wins the exchange. There's only 2 left now for Big. They can't afford to throw away this lead. Not another change of heart. He does at least pick up Henny on the entrance, but Bomb's already bypassed him and gone toward position where Bolts can plant safely inside of the train. Next gets closer and closer, but stops up, and that means they know likely what he's up to, but still he finds Bolts retreating.
Oh, KNG.
This is even better. Knife number 8, don't you dare. Just get it. You see them both. Just get it. Take them. Why do you have to make it wait so long? He does eventually get out of Tech 9 and pulls back, who goes to the AK, spots up both players, but Steel's got the angle and a win with the 1 AK for Immortals.
Of course. Of course it happens. 4 pistols, 1 AK-47. Steel has to step up. He only gets 2 frags, sure, but he brings in the 5-on-4. He makes things uncomfortable. And at that point, Tabson tries to step up. We know Counter-Strike. It's a reaction-based game. If you lose the first pick, someone needs to go and get it in return. You can't allow Immortals to have that much freedom. Tabson pushed the lower ramp. Couldn't get anything for it. Dropped 5-on-3. And Kiev, a decent attempt there, but couldn't win the round. Legia had to step up towards that Pop Dog round. We said he was key. Pivotal position. Didn't work out for him. It's round number 25. Faster pace play, and we now have money for Immortals again. Molotov's deployed, and KNG, he's back on the AK-47. It's Henny.
Very well placed from KNG on the AK-47. Proficient with both weapons, it appears, as we know, as he's slotted into the role of rifle. Mom's all back down toward him, and they're going to potentially push through it. Damage taken by KNG, but not a significant amount. Watch in front of E-Box. Scalby changes his position and almost catches Steel off, but not quite. Kiev AWP, not fast enough to catch KNG jumping. Tabson versus 3. It's the man you'd want alive, but he's got to be quick. And very quick at that, because it's an M4. It doesn't have the one-shot potential. KNG low enough, he could potentially find him, though. But it doesn't have the kit.
Yeah, it's looking pretty desperate for him at this point. Has to start hitting some very impressive shots. There's one. Now he's got a chance. Wants one. Has to rush him down. He's going to find him, but Henny's ready for it. Had to make so much noise there. Like we said, no kit. Pushes in. And now things starting to get a little bit more interesting. Immortals have clawed their way back into this. 2 rounds in a row. It's broken the money of Big. Do they take a pause here? Doesn't look like they decide they need it. Should be tied up at 13-13. CZs, P250s. One set of armor, that's for Godby, and HE for Tabson, but very unlikely they do anything with this round. Tabson's just getting warmed up though. Like we said, 0 and 14 on Inferno, this time 25 and 16, turning his game around as we enter round number 26.
And he thought for sure the AWP was on the left of A main, which is why you gotta get, no kid, he has to get the kill early. He can't let it come down to a time-based one-on-one. Kiev, aggressive, KMG. Ooh, did he see the gun or not? Well, thanks very much for a misthrowing Molotov, it won't matter. Cheeky. Whoa, from KMG. Looking to try and find Kiev, and now they're firing back.
They certainly are. Nex is down on 20 HP now. Not really much they can do in this situation. Just hold up and hope someone goes wild with a P250. As good as it's going to get. Very unlikely, especially if Immortals approach it in a calm and calculated manner like they are. Shouldn't be any issues there. Bit of CZ damage towards bomb. Again though. Kiev now surely doesn't get a kill here. Does damage sure, but does get dealt with. Lucas.
Up the ladder they go. Next on 20. Still finds a kill somehow against Steel. Lucas and Henny are able to get the response frags immediately, though. Bomb should go down with tie ourselves 13-13. Lakia wants to stay in the argument by flanking. But, yeah, rather large shout to be heard against 4 players, which quickly find him and sort the issue. Tie game. Immortals are accumulating money. Still a chance to break them back, but it's going to have to be, I was going to say a timeout call because it's going to have to be perfect from Big from here on out.
Makes sense. This is the third and final map of the first major for either of these teams, right? This is all on the line. It's a semi-final, your first one as a challenger. But that's sick. That's unbelievable. Right, Big now lost the lead and tabs in, just trying to calm himself down. Get back in the zone. He's currently on 25 frags. Lucas 13. Orb does come out for Kiev once again. He's had some great impact, I have to say. The gear down to a Famas. No double orb set up on the Immortal side either. This Henny, no weapon. Better game from him. 17 kills, 18 deaths. Same story for KNG as well. KNG went absolutely off on Cobblestone, I have to say, the first half. No kits, just to know, Matthew.
No, none.
Has been a problem the last few clutches.
Certainly in the one-on-one with Tabson it was. What amount of pressure these players must be feeling this far into a major. As you say, the new teams, to even get into the legend spots. Smoke's down. Bomb is getting ready to go B. Tabson, he might be sold on this. Smoke out lower. He's been proficient when they do head toward B, and he's up by himself, but only when he's anticipating it. Right now, he's far off where he's typically playing from. They're going to go into the lower position. Kiev steps out. Oh, chance to hit them both. He gets tagged up. No kill comes in, and that could be a problem because means Bomb goes down here shortly, unless Tabson can do something of it. Not gone for it yet. When they do, shot in, headshot, and follow-up. Tabson soloing sight as Nex hits the headshot onto Henny, and Bolts is found as well. Big never give up the lead. They keep it 14-13.
That's beautiful stuff from Tabson, as you were describing. He's the only player that can really do anything about that situation. They overlook the upper platform position. He walks in, helps himself to 2 kills. Next help him out at that point as well. As it'll be 14-13. You're absolutely right. They do not lose the lead here. It was quite a big one they had, but 3 rounds in a row for Immortals tied us up. Tabson saves the day once again. You can see what it means. He's fired up. He's loving it. And once again, we're down to pistols for Immortals. Sure, they haven't opened a couple of AKs, but still, with just a Tech 9 and KNG with Deagle, no armor. As Henny, though, to find the first frag once again. Now Jordan. Keith.
Careful, boys. My God, he went back in the middle again when he was blinded. Had to give away a lead early. Henny does very well to find the angle, but almost gifted more than he was potentially worth. They won with a single AK, an AWP, double AK, and they have the first pick. This is a chance. A bit more tension at Ivy, but it still seems to be front of the site that gets most of the attention. Copy his reverse box. Popped off with Nex to hold off aiming. He's going to swing. He's going to miss the shots. He couldn't afford to do so. Tech 9 wins it. M4 picked up like he with 1. Backs away. Not normally on the AWP. He's going to need support because he's taken down by Steel. Goes to the sandwich. Nex spots it but does nothing of it. Turns around and realizes he has company on both sides. We might have a tie game again.
Yeah, almost certainly at this point. Up next, and Tapson and never say never when they're around. Tapson with one. Next chimes in as well, but it's not enough. 2 versus 1 situation. Tapson still can win this. Bomb down in his favor.
Oh my goodness. He could still win this. Goes aggressive on KNG, who fired with the deagle. Smoke down. Gives a bit of room between the two. The bomb is behind Tapson, but he wants the information. He wants the peek, and he's going to best him with the AK. We get tied again, and money is a factor.
It is. You're absolutely right. Oh dear, for Big. Fully reset. They can just about buy into this, but pick your poison time. You force into this. Look to keep the lead. Or do you eco and allow Immortals to get map point first, and you're playing for overtime there. Tapson, so many great shots. What a performance he's had in this major so far. 2 versus 1 to finish things off. Gets the first kill, but can't finish the job. Money available certainly for Immortals here. But if they were to lose this, they'll be reset as well. You can see that. Khalil for KNG. Lucas, MB7. It's going to come right down to the wire. Overtime certainly possible here. And that's if Big pick up the round. We'll see what happens.
If Big pick up the round, because if they lose it, they're
done as well.
Done.
Yeah.
Whoa, what a back and forth brawl. What a series. And it's going the absolute distance. We are guaranteed 30 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
WP for Henny. Started it last time, and he's going to go to the same position again. Do not enter. No one will. No one goes near it. Shot spotted. Bolts 2! He's got 2 already. Big problems for Big. Money the factor. Death's the cause.
Legier's got to react here now. He's pushed Ivy. He's going to go all the way around T-Spawn. His teammates desperate trying to fight for their lives here. It's Tapson pushing inside, getting job done. He gets the headshot, but that's all he'll get. Now Legier in the 3 versus 1. This round with everything, and he can't find the shot. The low HP of Henny eludes him, and there it is. Series and semi-final point for the Brazilians. Money in turmoil now. $2,000 per player. They're only getting $1,900 per player in the round. This could be it. They're going to have to dig deep here. They did win a round before with 1 scout on pistols. That's what they're going to have this time again. It's next on the scout. But they had a huge lead here. Big. This would be gutting for them. It would be so demoralizing to go out in this fashion.
What a turnaround for Henny. Up to 21 kills with double AK AWP setup. He hits 2 early shots on the round that essentially breaks Big. He goes again. He's got copy. It's KNG this time, excuse me, but it's the early AWP. It's causing so much problems for Big.
Yeah, this is rough. Pistols to step up here. Tapson with the 5-step, and we'll watch him, but it's Legier that goes down first. A switch shot from the AK-47 of Bolts. Next alone essentially on the outside Bolt side. Teammates grouped up in the connector. They'll make their way out, but KNG finding kills. This could be it. Low HP, but Nex is fighting back.
Nex is fighting back, but the flank is coming in. Lucas with 1. It's on the Tapson, found by KNG. And it's only Kiev. The German swan song. The Cinderella story, the unexpected appearance, and it's Immortals that might be the ones to take them. Kiev does at least spot up 1 more, but he can't get the shots right away. Bolts pops out, and we've got 5 Brazilians in this tournament. It's not SK, it's Immortals.
Oh, you can see what it means to them as well. What a great series, man. Back and forth for sure. Wasn't clear who was going to take that fight.